attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This update is brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less than your pricito at Doral Kia. Visit us at Doral Kia, DoralKia.com. Starting with the Heat, who will be in Charlotte tonight to take on the Hornets. Tip-off is at 7. The game can be heard on 104.3 FM. Over to the Panthers are in Vancouver for a matchup with the Canucks. The puck drops at 10, and the game can be heard on 560 AM. To baseball, the USA will take on Venezuela tonight in the championship game of the World Baseball Classic. The first pitch is at 8 from Lone Depot Park. The Marlins will continue spring training against the Mets. Their first pitch is at 1:10 from Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. And in tennis, the Miami Open continues today for Miami Gardens with qualifying matches, weather allowing there, Joe.
Well, they got them in. They got a bunch of them in yesterday. I was very surprised, as you said, man. It was I don't know if we've had a day like this in a long time where it rains and then the sun's out for a while, and then it dries up, and then you look, and it's back out, and it's raining again, and then it dries up real quickly. And somehow, boy, I looked up, and they got a bunch of the qualifying matches in yesterday at the Miami Open. And, it's kind of weird. It's a 2-week tournament. So people are calling, Alcaraz, Fonseca. And I'm like, hey, calm down there, Charlie Brown. Alcaraz ain't playing for a few days. They're going to get all this small fry stuff out of the way before the big boys show up and play. They just played on Sunday and Saturday and Friday of last week, whether the semifinals or the finals. But they'll have plenty of time to play, man, to get out there.
Saturday night, right? That's usually the first big night.
I'm guessing Friday.
Friday
we'll get
okay.
We'll get them. They got this matchup. It's really weird. So we got this 19-year-old Brazilian who's really good, Fonseca. I'll screw up his first name, Joel Fonseca. And he's like last year, he's a rock star. They come out and it looks like Brazil flies over here every time he plays, and it's packed, absolutely packed. So I think all his matches this year, it was a teaser last year because they have enough seats on the outside, on the other courts outside of the main court. So I believe I heard yesterday James Blake say that all his matches, even though he's not a top seed, will be inside because he's so popular. He'll play in the big court. He'll play in the stadium. So, by the way, we got a lot of good stuff to get to. There's another big story going on, man, besides just this rain. It's that thing. It's called the World Baseball Classic, and Lone Depot Park has not been this alive in a long, long time. It wasn't Venezuela coming back to beat Italy last night. Italy took a early 2-0 lead, and then Venezuela scores 3 runs in the 7th. And you've heard some of the characters' names, Arise, who we had here, and Acuna, who's one of the best players in baseball when he's healthy, and he's had a few injuries here recently for the Atlanta Braves, but absolutely one of the best players in baseball. So those guys put on a little bit of a show last night on the comeback for Venezuela. So tonight, USA-Venezuela, Woody, WBC championship game. And I'll tell you, we're getting the best of baseball outside of the playoffs and the World Series. We're not getting there. And so this is it, this World Baseball Classic. Tonight, I'm guessing won't feel quite like Dominican and USA because of the star power, but make no mistake about it, Venezuela's got some really good.
Yeah, they got some bats over there. They got some players.
This
will be fun. I told you yesterday, they've gone from maybe the best World Series we've seen in, who knows how long,
Toronto
to this
LA
tournament, which has been great. So, yeah, baseball's got a little momentum going here. We'll see how the start of the season goes.
But,
it's a long season, I know. But
it's a long season. And
I wonder if the Marlins can parlay this into a little bit of a little buzz.
They got some articles out, and they're talking about that, like baseball does work in South Florida if you have a good product, and it's all the things we've talked about.
I don't know that's.
I agree. 15, 20 years of this talk of, and right now, you're right. They don't. It's the same.
There's something else that's wrong with that product. I just like you and I feel like we've been trying to figure this out since I started working with you, trying to figure out why they can't, right? Because they've had stars, they've had MVP caliber players there. They've had teams that were competitive.
Yes. Not
You
too
know,
not
like,
too long ago.
They were competitive last year.
Not too long ago, we had the best outfield in baseball, period.
Yes.
Not even their numbers in right field, center field, and left field were unbelievable. All three guys, by the way, still playing towards the end of their careers, but still playing.
Yeah, big time home run hitters here. Like, you've had them all, man.
But this thing of developing prospects and trying to figure out how many of these prospects again this year off trades that they made, how good they're going to be. Some of them played are playing or did play in the World Baseball Classic. And so anyway, we're gonna have Skip on this morning. We'll talk to him. He'll take a break from before baseball today, and they've got a few games left here. Season starts in 9 or 10 days for baseball. They're starting to get all their guys back. Everybody but the final two teams have obviously reported back to their training camps in Arizona and Florida. But yeah, tonight, man, just enjoy. That's all I can say before you try to somehow connect this to the Marlins. It's just not doable. It's just not. The Italy story is a great story. Venezuela is one of the powerhouses of baseball. I didn't think they had enough to get to the finals, but here they are, man. It's a one-game tournament, right? You play well, timely hits, big strikeouts, closeout games, good defensive plays, and you find yourself. Venezuela's down 2-0 in that game last night, and everybody's going, oh, my God, the Italians, although some of those Italians are obviously very good players in baseball, but, hell, they got a chance to go to the finals. They shouldn't be in. We're not talking about Italy, anything Italy with baseball. And it would have been a hell of a story, but Venezuela came back. And by the way, I don't know if you saw that celebration. I know a lot of those guys got big, fat contracts. We say this after every game. And they're not making very much playing in these games, representing their countries. The money starts in about 2 weeks, starts coming in. These guys love playing for their countries. Whether the countries are getting bombed, healthy, happy, poor, rich, they love playing for their countries. Like we saw it in Canada and United States and in the hockey. And man, we see it in baseball, especially some of these countries have been so good in it's such a big part of their culture in some of these countries that
these
play.
Things have all gotten good though, haven't they? Like I find the basketball to be very entertaining now because all the other countries have gotten
better,
a lot better, right?
They have gotten better.
I mean, the USA is, we talk about basketball now, like those other countries put together teams now.
But you know how this works. If United States, they're the only ones got pressure on them. If they don't win this tonight, we're going to find something. Some media guy out there somewhere is going to just something about we don't take it seriously enough, or
Judge chokes on the big stage.
Everybody, he's going to be
a good game today.
Hey, Harper and all the rest of those guys, if they lose tonight and their stars don't play well in this game and play poorly, that's going to be the topic. It's not going to be that Venezuela also has some really good players that a lot of teams would love to have. It's not going to, that won't be the story tonight. It'll be, these guys have caught up to us. When is our Americans going to take this seriously? And then somebody idiot out there will write, it's not, this event's at a bad time. It's not good for baseball. Listen, man, I don't know what the good time is to have this tournament, but living here in South Florida, it's been friggin' great.
Well, I don't think you could have this tournament really. Like, what would the other time frame be? Because they're not going to do it during the season.
All-Star break.
They would never do something like this during their
spread
season.
It out
right?
during the All-Star break. And
I can't imagine they're going to want their pitchers doing that in the middle.
They already got 162 games.
Yeah.
The teams that have great pitchers have already told the Americans, hey, my guy pitched for you. Few innings, he's done. Send him back to Pittsburgh. Send him back to Detroit. We're getting them ready. They're going to be our opening day. They need to get some more work, build up their arms to get closer to not being able to pitch, throw 90 pitches in a game and the whole thing that they break baseball down with. By the way, speaking of that, and I don't have, guys get hurt. We're seeing guys in baseball hurt. I see some of the Marlins guys are or I don't know if the injuries, I don't know if they changed. I don't know if we listen to sports science too much. But I do have one thought, and this goes back to the football practices, and we just saw the lightest batch of football practices in the history of the Miami Dolphins, and it's not even close. And whether you go out there or not, I'm telling you firsthand. And I know, and I didn't want to be an old grumpy guy, because I'm not saying the Don Shula practices, you're not even allowed to have them anymore. You can't go that hard every day, twice a day, and practice in full pads like we did for 4, 5, 6 weeks. Those days are done, and they should be. So I don't want to sound, before I get into this, like an old grumpy guy here first thing in the morning. And I sat down. I was good. I was a good soldier. I sat up there with different guys, old guys, young guys, media. We get a little bit of everything when we sit up there, and everybody wants to come talk. And I'm cool with whatever works, man. Whatever works, whatever sports science. Some of that sports science stuff is good, and how to practice and get your body ready to go and get you maxed out, ready to go when it counts for the opener in September. I get it. But I got to tell you, man, we got to practice harder than what I've seen with Mike. And again, and I'm not taking shots. He's gone now, and he's a hot offensive coordinator and all those things. But you got to get some work in. I saw some guys talking about, and I don't know how everybody else practices. I'd be a phony because I'm not at the other 31 practices. But I do see some of the teams get after it. Detroit gets after it, So some of the other guys still have some old school. Now they're limited. Again, the days of all those old school coaches and hit. We want to get a lot of full speed in, and we need to do it, for all these different. No, you don't need that. I'm not even saying you need to practice twice a day, which they don't do that anymore either. But you can't have one soft practice. You can't. Again, and I'm sat back. I've listened. There's a lot of guys in sports science is saying burning this and burning that and fatigue and it equals injury and all this stuff and all these great universities these guys go to and all the places they go, man. I get it, but you can't practice like last year. we can break down your favorite Ivy League school, the smartest cats in this country. I'm just telling you can't practice like that. And just, it's a different time. I'm very well aware of the concussion problems and the other problems, and guys are making a lot of money. And the last thing you want to do is have them going every day and get injured. And then you're screaming, why are we practicing like that in the middle of August? There's no reason. And I'm not even one that says, hey, man, guys, your key guys need to play a lot in preseason. I'm not even doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not on that. I want to make it clear. But your daily practices, you can't just go from 10 miles an hour to 100 miles an hour. You just can't, and not expect to have a lot of injuries. That's just me. I don't know what the trainers who are driving in today, and they're all getting ready, and everybody's back to work and getting ready and for the draft, and doctors are going in to do physicals and how healthy is this guy and how close is he to being 100% and all of that. But I'm just saying, I don't believe you can drive your car 10 or 15 or 20 miles an hour or have light practices and then go out and play 100 miles an hour in the first opener where everybody's flying around and everybody's getting paid a paycheck. I don't think it works. And again, that was Mike's way, and make sure everybody's happy. And this is what we want to get done, and meet with a sports science guy. And he says, hey, this guy, maybe we need to give him a rest day. And okay, I'm not even against rest days sometimes. If the guy's been in the league 10 or 11 years, you know what he can do. I don't want him to have dead legs. But man, there got to be some time where everybody's got to go hard. Everybody has to go hard in practice, or you're going to have all these injuries. Everybody's looking to blame. I know we want to blame everybody every time our teams have 10, 11, 12 injuries and guys aren't playing, and we're ranking, and now they got rankings of who gets injured the most, and we look at the doctors, and no, it has nothing to do with doctors. It has nothing to do with doctors. I'm not sure it has anything to do with the training staff. It just has to do with getting yourself ready. You're going to be sore. You're going to be tired. You got to work through a little bit of that, man. Some of it. Anyway, I just wanted to get that out of the way. Woody, is that okay this morning? Before we get rolling.
Yeah, that's good.
I saw actually that some of the baseball guys are getting all these World Baseball Classic guys back and giving them some time off before they get back after. And I'm like, I'm thinking, okay, but I want to make sure my swing is ready to go and my legs are ready to go. But I do get, if they played the World Baseball Classic, that was one of those 100 miles an hour. Nobody went half-ass for any country, right? They were going hard, man. They're going hard. I think it would be good. We got a bunch of guys. We'll talk to Skip about that coming up here.
I am curious to see what practices are going to look like this year, though.
I am too.
It'll be very interesting.
I want to see the Green Bay way.
Well, we go from Coral Gables to over there, and
oh my god,
that was like
oh my god,
because Mario runs a real practice.
Practice,
but
Brian Baldinger. So Baldy says he calls me and he says, hey, because he's out Dolphin. He goes more Dolphin practice than anybody. He covers it for NFL Network. So he calls me. He says, hey, I got invited to go down. I wanted to go down, and they Morrow invited me down to see the offensive line. I wanted to see him. Everybody's talking about this big offensive line. You see the way he practices day one. You see his practices day one. You see how they played this year. You see how physical that offensive line and D line. I think that's a mindset of one man.
I agree. It's also tough for what they have to do, by the way, right? You got to go from practice into last year, Notre Dame, right? There's no preseason.
That's true.
No get your feet wet.
No, that's true. It's a little different situation.
They have a scrimmage that they do a little run through, but that's as close as you get to live
that
action,
is a little
right?
different. And our first two games are not about getting the starters ready. They are about trying to figure out a lot of, who's going to be on the 53, who's on the back end of your roster. Hey, Woody, we got to go to break, man. I went off the road a little bit. That's a typical Joe Rose right there.
It's okay.
I was going World Baseball Classic. I went a little tennis, and then I got off the road. Something kicked in because I was talking to somebody late last night that wanted to go old school, new school on practice. And this person, without saying their name, I knew you were going to ask me.
Wasn't Bo, was it?
He said, please tell me Coach Halfley's not going to practice like what we've seen.
Bo?
Anyway, right now I want to tell you about your South Florida Chevy dealers. First thing in the morning, man. Chevy Truck Month. So you've been waiting to get that strong, durable truck, something that works the way you do, huh? Well, Chevrolet, our big dog, I've said it's always been our cleanup hitter in the Chevrolet family. Silverado and Colorado trucks, man, are just dependable. We got a bunch of them. We got different style trucks, the Silverado 1500, the Silverado HD, even a Silverado EV, whatever you're looking for, man. You need something strong that works 5, check that, 6, 7 days a week, because that's how you work. You're getting jobs done, and you don't get to work Monday through Friday. No, not when you're working to get a job done and you need a truck that works as hard as you do. Hello, Silverado, man. We got a truck absolutely perfect for you. Heavy duty or light duty, dependability always comes standard when you talk about a Chevy truck. The Silverado family is on fire right now. We're just saying during Chevy Truck Month, we got great deals. We got a lot of trucks ready to stop, take a test drive, check them out. Need a little family in there? Need a truck that also gives you plenty for fun for the family on the weekends? We got it, man. Whether it's towing a jet ski or pulling the boat, man, going to the ocean, hitting the intercoastal, doesn't matter. We got a truck perfect for you. Hey, stop by your South Florida Chevy dealers. I'm serious now, 14 of them throughout South Florida. We got some great deals. It is Chevy Truck Month. Take advantage of it.
The Canes have an
is sponsored by Lexus of Kendall and Lexus of West Kendall. Your home for the best price on luxury. Now featuring the all-new Lexus TX 3-row SUV in stock and on sale now. Call 305-KENDALL.
Things here. I know you've been talking about it. We will have tickets today for Marlins opening day that we will be giving away at some point during the show. They take on the Rockies on March 27th. So we'll have opening day tickets. Always a hot ticket.
Phones lit up yesterday when you gave away that first pair, Woody. It was absolutely beautiful to see. March 27th, right around the corner. What are we today? 17th, 18th, whatever today is. Fighting Fish in Colorado Rockies. It's a 7:10 start. First 25,000 fans through the gates will receive first ever Marlins opening day bobblehead featuring Kyle Stowers, presented by ADT. And by the way, if that's not enough, you go, well, I don't mind, but is there anything else going on? Be kind of fun for the. How about early 4th of July? How about that? They got post-game fireworks show ready to go. So you get the baseball, get the bobblehead, and you get fireworks for the family. I can't do any more for that than that for that. So we'll be doing our share. We've got tickets to give away, or you can go to marlins.com/opening day if you'd like to jump on that one. Hey, man, I always say this, and I know we've been through a lot of different things with the Marlins. I get it. Hell, we've been with a lot of teams down here, but opening day still, I don't know, man. It's just
it's like, you say you can't screw up a Friday.
Yeah.
Right. You can't screw up opening day.
I just
it's on a Friday too, so even better.
But I just again, if your dad, Woody, I never asked you, but my dad's a big base. He's all baseball, and that guy, he worked, and then back in the old days of PG&E, out here it's FPL. Before these guys had those lifts to go up, that dude climbed poles, man. He climbed them in the mountains. He climbed them on hot days. He climbed them on rainy days. Nothing but respect for that man. Climbed poles till he's in his 50s and couldn't do it anymore. And he'd take days off, man, and say, hey, let's go to the opener. We're going to Candlestick Park. I go, what? You're kidding. Yep, and we get to stay. You can run around like a wild man to see if any guys stop after the games, getting into their cars.
I've tried to do that with my son, taking a few of those day games every year, and they get those 12:15 or 1 o'clock or whatever those games they have in the middle of the week.
So
pull them out of school, right?
Yeah,
and baseball's more important.
The other thing. So it was funny. I was just thinking about this because we've been talking, and not to go old school on you, because it's different time and stuff, but used to be getting there early to watch batting practice was really cool because a guy can do something you can't do. And it was the guys. And I think through the years, I've had more respect for the fact of the time when I was growing up and baseball was a big part of my life. It was Willie and Willie right there in the middle of it. And there were a lot of other guys that, when we name, I'm guessing a lot of people out there, if I said name, the team you love when you were young, you can name almost every guy in that team. You might not remember what they batted in the batting lineup, but you knew who you're going to see. McCovey at first, Mays at the end of his career out in center, a young Bobby Bonds out in right field, Tito Fuentes at second base. I mean, it was like, man, I can't. Those guys I had their cards, man. I was looking at their cards going down to the game and just batting practice, the game, and then and the old man was never in a hurry. God bless him. The reason I go home to see him as much as I can. That man said, "Hey, Dad, we got to get home." He goes, "No. You get over there. You man, that was
So that is a problem. Like I grew up, in South Florida, obviously, and the Marlins, I don't know, very
different
seldom would have a player on the team multiple years.
No, you're right. This is different.
So that does make it difficult that they have not had
Woody, I got to tell you
that
is more than fair.
They had a few good teams. They had a couple World Series teams. Don't get me wrong.
Free agency, man, we didn't have free agency, so you saw guys until they weren't good enough to play, and then they were gone. But you got to see, if you were down here, you hear guys talk about Marino, and he played for the same team for almost 20 years. Hey, even D Wade. What D Wade? How many years did D Wade? We're talking about how good D Wade. What D Wade? How many? What he played? 10 straight here? Maybe more.
At least, yeah. And then he came back at the end.
He came back and was great coming off the bench, and you still got a fun D Wade to watch. You
had a long run with him.
But you just go to some of your favorite guys, and it's a different time now on both sides. Guys don't play well, they release them, they get to free agents, and the whole deal. Anyway. I had to go through it. I apologize early here in the morning talking about.
No, it's cool. And opening day is like, it's nostalgic for a lot of people. It's fun, man.
We blew right by Oakland to get to San Francisco.
So you had a team that was closer to you when you went to San Francisco.
Yeah,
Oakland was closer,
right next to me. I'm at Berkeley for 5 years, and Oakland's right next door, and the Coliseum is real close.
Was that place a dump when you were a kid?
Yes.
Okay.
But we are just never your parents kind of set you up for what kind of fan you are. You know that. Right?
Yeah.
You have it, like some guy go, I'm sorry, I just can't like your team. I'm a Giants fan. I go, what there? Oh, my dad, man. I get it. I can't get mad.
So I had a New York dad that adopted all the teams down here. I mean, he moved down here to go to school at UM, but he, I don't root for like the Rangers or the Knicks or any of those teams or the Islanders or whatever that he grew up watching.
Look at the amount of people down here, Woody, in that situation.
There's a lot of those people.
There's people coming from all over in different countries going, hey, man, I'm sorry. When's Venezuela play again? How many Venezuelans they got on their team? I'd like to go watch him. He's really good.
But I'm happy that he did that, though, right? Because it's nice to have teams that are close to you that you can root for, that you don't have to, get the sports package and watch teams in New York or whatever just to root for them because that's who your parents are fans of.
Well, it's a different time, man, for sure now. And
these teams are easy to switch to down here too because they're not like some of them aren't really like I guess legacy teams, right?
What do you mean? What are you trying to say?
Like, well, you come down like the Heat. First of all, the Heat weren't here when most of our parents moved down here.
The Heat have built up a strong base through their winning and their culture that they have built up. And the Panthers are now doing it too.
Panthers didn't exist.
And by the way, the Panthers for a long time were
Marlins
just here.
Exist.
And then the Panthers put this thing together, and now they are sold out every night. They've got and by the way, they're bringing it back. They're letting you know. I know what you're looking at right now. You know the situation. We are beat up. We got some of our key guys out, but they're all back next year, and we're going to be back. So they're already selling that they're going to be back to what they look like before these injuries. And the Heat just did a great job, especially when the Dolphins tripped all over themselves, even though football's football, of building up a really strong fan base that they now have. They've done it, even though recent years have not been great. It's they've been able to, people still fired up, and this is the best team they've had in the last few years right now, and we'll see how it finishes out. By the way, that schedule is going to get a lot more difficult coming up here. They got the Hornets tonight. They got the Lakers at home, by the way. I know we talked about this. 42-25, Lakers got a really good team. They got their big three right now when they play together. It's pretty good. Not bad at 42 and 25. I think they're in the third spot, if I'm not mistaken, right now. The Rockets are right behind them, 41-25. They play them in Houston. So they got a hell of a 3-game set coming up. 2 on the road in Charlotte tonight, 34-34. The Hornets have cooled off a little bit after going crazy in the Heat at 38-30. By the way, one other thing we're laughing about during the break. So Ronald Acuna, I was talking about, you can look at his numbers before he had a knee. I think he collided in the wall. I think I was watching or saw the highlight and tore his knee up, but he's back. And so one of the knocks on him through being one of the best players in baseball, that he doesn't always go hard, even though he puts up big numbers and the team struggles and they're a little down on him. And I don't know if you remember some of that drama. You don't have to worry about that. If you saw him go down to first base with 2 outs last night on a ground ball to the shortstop, he was flying. Beats the throw to first. Huge run with 2 outs, keeps the drive going, and they go on and score 3 runs in the inning. So I was just reminded of, like, don't tell me this is not really important. They hope the Atlanta Braves are watching that last night going, we hope Ronald Acuna will run like that in the same situation when they're playing the Marlins on a Tuesday afternoon. They're hoping they get that kind of effort that they were able to get last night, man, in that game. Anyway, tonight, going to be fun. USA and Venezuela. World Baseball Classic Championship game, and they're here, and they are getting some big crowd. So Italy gets knocked out. They had an early 2-0 lead in that game, but couldn't hold it. Couldn't hold it last night, and yes, Venezuela, even though they got a few guys not playing, I think they had a couple guys could get insurance, get their contracts covered to come and play in this thing. I don't know what happened on that, and some of these guys got big contracts, but said we're going to pass. There are some guys that have decided to pass on this and get ready, and I've had my best days for the country, and I'm okay. I'm okay with it. So it's not just everybody. Miami Open, back at it again today, even with the rain on and off at Hard Rock Stadium. Still able to get a bunch of qualifying matches in there yesterday. I'm guessing it'll be more the same today, Woody, and then we'll have a lot more. Got a big show coming up for you. Kyle Crabb's going to join us, host of Locked On Fins and A to Z Sports NFL analyst. Dan Radakovich, man, the athletic director at the University of Miami, named the athletic director of the year. How about that? Is that for winning or is that for academics? What is that? Everything, Woody? Everybody's happy?
Yeah, I think all around, right?
Pretty good. Hey,
he's done a good job.
I know one thing. Parts 1 and 2 look real good. One team just won 13 games and got the national championship, and the other team sitting there with 25 or 26 wins on the season, favored here in this first game against Missouri coming up on Friday. So anyway, Dan Radakovich, so we're going to talk to him about all the stuff going on. What's going on? I see President Trump's trying to get involved, and he's got Nick Saban, and they're trying to get everybody. We got to get some things cleaned up here in college sports, especially in basketball and football, where it's a little out of control, a little bit. And by the way, not trying to take money away from the players, but it's taking free agency to a brand new level, is what it's. Some guys don't make it a year. Hell, some guys don't see the full year, man. They're gone and off and running. So anyway, then Clayton McCullough, Marlins manager, will join us later in the show and talk a little bit about some of the prospects, some of the guys they just traded for, getting some guys back from the World Baseball Classic, including 2 of their key guys from Team Canada. So there is a lot of stuff to get to here this morning that we'll be jumping on. First, though, we got to talk about the other part of sports that nobody likes to talk about, and we do talk about guys being hurt. Hey, man, they're bigger, they're faster, playing a lot of games, and guys get hurt, man. It's just like the rest of us. And if you're competitive and you're training hard and you're getting ready, it doesn't matter what age you are. I play way too hard for my age, and I get hurt. It sure is nice to have Baptist Health South Florida, though. What a great sports medicine program. Now, I happen to know most of the doctors through the years, going to dinners and being with these. Man, they put together a flat-out all-star team of specialists for every part of the body. You can't have a top sports medicine program, one of the best in the country, unless you have really, really good doctors, and that's what they have. Enter Miami, where the pros go. Enter Miami, the Heat, the Panthers, and the Miami Dolphins, FIU, FAU. I can go on and on. The Miami Open, you'll see doctors from Baptist Health South Florida out there as well. And again, you got specialists, some of the best in the business, and not just one, but a team for every part of the body. We got knee specialists, shoulder, foot and ankle, hand specialists, back specialists, hip and knee replacement. You know how big that's become as you get older. And how about the new hip and knee replacement? Guys are back out playing tennis, and after they get these things done, it's crazy. And what great facilities they put together. Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables, Hard Rock Stadium next to the training facility of the Miami Dolphins, in 595 in Pine Island in Plantation, man. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho. One goal for all of us every day, because we can all see those same doctors, man. Get you healthy, back out playing the sports you love the most.
Let's go.
keep you away from the Miami Open if you plan on going today, because it will. Yesterday had to be some kind of record for rain and then sunshine. Rain and then sunshine. And you're like, okay. Then I checked thinking, man, I wonder how these matches are going. They got a bunch of them in yesterday and there's great food, a lot of stuff going on out there. And it's never been better, that event, than it is right now. Speaking of that, Miami Open's going to have to take a back seat, though, for one more day, because World Baseball Classic is on tonight. The championship game, United States and Venezuela. Venezuela, nice little comeback, down 2-0. Come back to win that game 4-2. Those Italians were tough, man. It's like every guy grew up in Rome or something, right? I don't know, man. You ever go over to Italy? Did anybody see any baseball fields anywhere at all? You know, it is pretty funny, right? Anyway, hey, great stories, and so we'll see what happens tonight. Pressure's on one team, man. There's no pressure on Venezuela. None at all. All the pressure is on Judge and Harper and the rest of those guys on that baseball team. That's it. It's on them. It's our game, been our game. We got a lot of great players. Some of them aren't playing in this thing that could be playing. Some guys have decided to stay off the roster. Got some really good young players on this team that a lot of people probably haven't even heard of that hit home runs in the last game, a couple of solo home runs. They're loaded, though. They got obviously a super talented team, even around some of these guys not letting the aces of these staffs pitch a lot. Some of them are like one and done. Very weird. Can you imagine pitching once and then going, okay, you can have him for 4 innings in one game and that's it, or a certain amount of pitches. But that's where you are, man. You come in early. You're trying to get this thing. You're going to get this thing in before the start of the baseball season. Matter of fact, I think it gives basically the team, a little more than a week to get everybody ready to go. These guys will go back for a few games. I don't know how many will actually play. But Otto Lopez came back. He hit a home run. Shortstop for the Marlins yesterday, wanted to play against Toronto. He came back, hit a home run on his first at bat. Said, "Nah, hell no. I want to get back and, get in a groove and get myself ready to go for the start of the season." All right, so we've got a lot of different things going on here. We got a lot of Dolphin stuff that we're going to be jumping into here with Kyle Krabs coming up at 8 o'clock this morning with what they've added to the team. The other thing that's out there, Woody, not much has been said, but I see that Drew Rosenhaus came out and had comments and is saying Tyreek Hill will be ready to go for the start of the season. Man, it will be truly a great comeback. What did he get hurt in the third or fourth game? Would he sound right?
Yeah. I mean, look, he's not the easiest person to root for, obviously.
Well, he's got that part, but you listen to everybody talking, and if you're desperate for a receiver and you get him at the right price, he's going to say all the right things, and
got to be one spot for him, right? That KC,
Kansas City.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now they're saying Baltimore getting Lamar more weapons, and hey,
all those guys could use the big three. Could use some new weapons, right?
If he's
I know
close,
they brought someone in Buffalo.
I'm just having trouble, and I'm not a doctor, and I'm not playing one here at 6:52 in the morning. It is hard for me to imagine that knee. I don't know how many people got to see it up close for remember the one quick shot.
Everyone saw it. But if anyone could do it,
no, it's him.
That's probably the guy. His legs are freakish.
Yes, I never thought that. I never thought the guy get hurt. When he got pulled from behind and wasn't out for the year on that one, I was like, and actually played through it, limped around, but kept playing. I mean, he loves to play football. If there's a guy that wants to play and he's talking about coming back, he ain't getting any money, by the way. There's no way somebody's giving him big bucks. High incentives, low base salary. But I am really curious to see, hey, we talked about Tua. This Tyreek Hill thing, can he really be ready to go? As bad as that thing was, I mean, that's one of those knees that you got to operate and fix quickly, or there could be nerve damage in there. You know, it's you always hear this story, right? You heard it with Tua in the hip, like, oh, we had to know and get this thing back. So, you know, and you're like, man, you know, there's no time to waste. And the surgery, you know, it's probably an all-day surgery and all the stuff behind this. And now Drew's going, yeah, he'll be ready for the start of the season. As we get closer, we'll pick a team that he wants to. He's going to have to work out for somebody, right? Nobody's just going to go, all right. They're going to want to see him run around a little bit. But, boy, I'll tell you what, he goes out there and he's running around and he's making cuts, and somebody will pick him up. Somebody will, like, all of a sudden, you know. It'd be amazing. And whoever did that surgery, I happen to know who it is. It'd be big time if he can come back and play. Talking about the fastest guy in football, coming back and looking like the fastest guy in football and making cuts. And I heard two things. I heard, number one, it was bad. And number two, if there's anybody that can come back and be 100%, to your point, Woody, his gene pool is the guy. He's the guy. He's freakish. He heals. He's incredible bone and muscle structure and all those things that medical guys talk about. Anyway, hey, Wood, we've got 7 o'clock hour coming up. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, we were I was going to ask you, too, which Dolphin, speaking of released Dolphins or traded Dolphins, talked about Tyreek Hill. Who you think will come back and have the best year next year? Minkah Fitzpatrick going to the Jets. Tua going to the Falcons, probably going to start the season. Bradley Chubb going to the Buffalo Bills, would not be surprised to see him with 10-plus sacks. And Jalen Phillips with, you're going Jalen Phillips. Oh, yeah. By way of Philadelphia, now got the biggest contract in this free agency, now with the Panthers. Who do you think, Woody, off the top? Who are you going with?
Well, the last two guys you named are on good teams, so I think that will give them a big chance.
That's fair.
Right? I mean,
that's fair.
Minkah is going to be miserable there. I can't imagine he finishes the season there, though.
What do you mean?
Right? Like, doesn't he at some point go bonkers and just like, I can't do this?
I think that.
How bad is that team?
I think
the
new contract. I think the new contract with the guaranteed money took care of that. That is part.
Think so?
I think that is part of that. He
seems
the
like
deal.
A dude that wants to win, though. Too.
He does want to win.
I don't know, man.
And by the way, the Jets are once again Geno Smith selling hope and trying to get guys. And you saw they got rid of. We haven't even talked about the fact Justin Fields traded to Kansas City. Hell, he might start the year in Kansas City. Can you imagine week 1? Justin Fields is starting quarterback. I love this for all these guys that they're. When do you think he'll be back? We're hoping he'll be back for the opener.
Mahomes is getting back.
You betting on that one?
Remember how long he was out with that high ankle sprain?
Yeah, 2 plays.
Yeah, he missed 2 practices or something. Yeah,
no, he got back
Remember
quickly. That? Yeah, he did. All right, hey Woody, 7 o'clock hours coming up. Want to take a second this morning to talk about Atlantic Men's Clinic. I can't say enough about it. It's unbelievable. It's, I've been to a few of these places through the years. I have, and it was just like you go in. There was nobody. It was just, this thing is so professional, and it's done the right way so you can get the best results. That's it. ED and low T, man. It's going to happen to every guy out there. Every guy's dealing with low T. That nobody beats low T. Low T wins. ED follows low T. It's just a matter of when it hits you. And when it hits you, you will know, as I found out 2 years ago. Oh, yeah, when it hits you, nothing's happening in the bedroom to the point you're apologizing to your wife. She's going, is there something I've done? Do I look? Is there? Oh, yeah, no, it's not you. It truly is not you. It's me. And I went to Atlantic Men's Clinic, man, after months of dealing with depression and going, what the hell, man? It just, it's crazy. It's crazy when you get thrown off and your energy level's shot. You gain 25 pounds and you're like, where'd this 25 come from? Oh, I'm not active and I'm sitting on the couch all the time. Oh, that's what it is. Hey, man, all of a sudden you get your energy level back. You get more out of your weekends. Your vacations are like they used to be a long time ago. You're active. You're not afraid to do things. You're out running around with the young ones, man. It's great. Well, if you're going through this right now, and you will go through it, half the men in their 50s will go through a combination of ED and low T. It's bad stuff, man. It really messes with your head. If you're going through it right now, set up that first appointment with Atlantic Men's Clinic. You're in for great results. Get the T, the PSA test. You meet with their professional staff. You have a real honest conversation, and then they get your numbers and they put you on a program. You get great results, and it happens fast. This is not something that takes 6 months. It happens fast for you. You start to notice a difference, more energy on the weekends. You're going playing tennis on Saturday and Sunday, and you can't wait for Monday. You got another game. You're walking 4 miles. Man, it's great. And if you want to get that back and lose that weight that's sitting there, well, they got 7 locations in South Florida to serve you. I'm just telling you, set up the first one, 877-455-7300, brand new location in Hollywood. I go to Plantation, tell them I said hello, 877-455-7300, or visit AtlanticMen'sClinic.com.
WQA.
has. I ate at Flanagan's the other day, and man, let's see, they're pumping it up. I might have to stop by Flanagan's and
Corned beef and cabbage.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I might have to go by myself. Well, the wife can get something else, but yeah, that corned beef.
That's not her thing.
No, I don't have a family that grew up around corned beef and cabbage, but
Okay.
it's good, man.
Corned beef is good. The cabbage thing. I don't know if I've ever had them together. How is it served?
I don't know,
Is
but
it
I always tell everybody there's no Irish in our family, and it made the rotation of food.
So what do you?
It wasn't just St. Patty's Day. We had a lot of corned beef growing up.
Are you gonna drink some beer tonight to celebrate?
Nah, I'm trying to. Woody, I told you.
You're cutting back. I know.
No, I did. I will look if there's nothing else, and I don't have tequila, then I will grab a few beers. But I just had days of drinking 6 or 7 beers and fill you up and just I don't know. But I will have a couple beers. And don't get me wrong now. And if I love beer, it's not. It's just that beer. It's not a mutual love
Doesn't
affair.
love you, huh?
No, it's not good. Not a good one. But
sounds like it goes with your cabbage, your corned beef and cabbage. Like a good mix, right?
oh yeah, no. You probably have to have a beer if you go there tonight. If you're gonna do the St. Patty's thing.
Guessing they got some nice beer specials.
Yeah, I'm guessing they'll Flanagan's will have the whole deal going tonight.
Yeah.
They've been doing this.
Not their first time, huh?
Yeah. Old Joe, God bless him. He's no longer with us, but he knew what he was doing a long, long time ago before the boys all took over and got it rolling. Jimmy and the boys over there. Anyway, hey, we've got a lot of stuff going on. He got a big one tonight, man, and they got some tough games. Woody, we talked about that soft schedule, and nobody wanted to hear about it, and don't read into it, Ira. Don't read into it. You're playing. Hey, no, Ira, you play who's on the schedule, and you kick their ass, and they did, and they got on a winning streak, and while they were playing, and they started playing really well, beat some good teams. So you win 7 in a row, and all of a sudden, they're flirting, trying to get to 10 games over, 38-30 right now. And they got some tough ones. Got to go back up to Charlotte again, where this thing started, and get a win there. Hornets are back to 500 after they were smoking hot for a cup of coffee. And then the Lakers at home, and then the Rockets. So you see, again, I don't care. I don't care if LeBron plays or not. I don't know, chances. He seems to miss. It seems like he plays the night before a lot when he's got the next game here in Miami and he sits, right? It just doesn't seem like we get to see, especially now that he, is no longer the big dog on that team. With Luka there. Luka had another big game last night. You realize Luka averaging 32 points a game? Is that just no matter where he plays, he averages 32 points a game? And LeBron's taking a back seat to him too, man. Really the first time I've seen LeBron really take a back seat. And I was wondering how this thing would go. He's no longer, he can still do his thing. He still got his moments where he looks like he's still one of the best players, but
that's a new school thing though too, right? Like guys not having the ego. Like Dwayne talked about it the other day, right? When he was like, I sacrificed money and numbers, and he did, right? When LeBron came here, Dwayne sacrificed a lot in his prime.
Yeah, because
so LeBron's willing to sacrifice now in his career,
but LeBron was in his prime. And LeBron was a better player than D. Wade. He saw
absolutely.
I don't want to get in the whole thing and start cutting guys down.
There's just players that, from the other eras that, I couldn't imagine Kobe being like, oh, yeah, you're going to take a back seat to this guy.
Well, he and Shaq, that thing didn't go real well for a while.
No. You think MJ would have come back and be like, you're going to be this guy's Pippen?
No, listen, I give, and it's funny you bring that up, being the number 2 guy. I give Scottie Pippen a lot of credit. Scottie Pippen has gone through a lot of this stuff and not looked very the documentary did him no favors. no, truly.
It did not do him any favors.
And honestly, he is one of the greatest number 2 players.
He would have been a fantastic number 1.
Well, he got a chance to do it.
He would have put up his numbers. And
he was
did,
never
but-
going to be. He's never going to be.
No,
MJ.
but
We're
he
gonna
was
put
still
up
he still
30
would have been a
game.
very good player.
Yes, I'm not trying to take away from him. Don't try to put him as a big time number one player, but for what he did, he did great things, and he took a back seat, man. He took a back seat on a lot of shots. I'm sure he was like, I wouldn't mind taking a few of those shots. But this is MJ's team.
Well, it's tough too. Like Pippen is synonymous with Robin, right? Like from Batman. Like when you think of Batman and Robin, you think like when they say Jordan.
That's been
Pippen,
done
like,
a few times in sports.
yeah, but it's always like you're the Pippen to someone's Jordan. Like it's Pippen is like a
right. He's
you know?
become that guy.
Yeah,
you're
like
that
what
guy.
that name means.
By the way,
Which shouldn't be an insult, but you know.
The so the Scottie Pippen stuff's been coming out more recently because Larsa's back at it again.
Oh.
She goes on a podcast apparently and says, I've never been more humiliated than what MJ did to me and what he said about me. She needs to shut up. Like he's just stop. Just go on. Nobody stop with that stuff. You know, talking about dating. She's dating somebody new. She's still dating him, talking about dating MJ's son. And MJ, like, hey man, I'm not real big on this. It's kind of weird. I remember when you were married to him and we were playing and we were all in this thing together winning championships. That's how old your ass is too, Larsa. And yeah, it's kind of weird. You're dating my kid. It's kind of weird.
Very weird, yeah.
And there'd be a lot of guys who would have a problem with it. MJ, I'm not saying MJ's, nice to everybody, but now she's coming out like, why do you want to get that thing stirred up again? Why? Isn't she dating somebody now, another athlete or something? Or some guy, she's in love with some guy and done. And crazy stuff, man. She's still on that Housewives show in Miami?
I think so. I don't want to say for sure, but
hey, Woody, I'll say something too. Anybody does those reality shows, you better be ready for the good and bad. And and by the way, to keep it, you got to give them good stuff. You got to be made up differently. And there is no privacy. That show, that'd be a rough one.
You don't think your family would be into it?
No, my wife is like private to a different level. She is the exact opposite of her big mouth husband. Not even close. Yeah, that would not be good. But anyway, we were just talking a little bit about the one and the number two here. But yeah, the Scottie Pippen stuff. This has not been great. This documentary, and then on top of that, married to her. I don't know what happened, but my God, she doesn't go away, and that just keeps stuff stirred up and almost ties into the friggin' documentary. And now they're saying that her kids were never real big on her dating MJ's kid either. It was awkward for everybody, which again, let me ask you a question. If your kids are going, hey, Mom, you're a good-looking lady. Larsa's a good-looking lady for her age. Takes care of herself.
I saw her at the Canes game. She was at the basketball game when her son played down here.
But it's embarrassing your kids. You're actually sleeping with a guy and your son's on that team for a split second when she went through that little breakup and the guy fell for her came down there to hit it a couple times. And the whole thing, it's like, at what point is it not about you when you're the mother and you shut it down and like, so you don't embarrass your friggin' kids? I've embarrassed my kids. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Just do your show. Stop. You don't need anything to do.
Well, she seems like she needs the attention, I guess, right?
What, for the show?
Not knowing. I mean, I don't really know a ton about her, but
I don't either.
She did look good, though.
I do. I think she looks good, man. I'm not. Hey, she looks good. I'm with you. She looks good.
Very awkward, by the way. They had them on opposite sides of the court.
Well, I'm sure Scotty not going to be sitting there hanging out.
I guess they're not.
Get caught up on MJ.
Yeah.
How was your experience with MJ with the son? I don't know. How was yours when you were a teammate of his? I remember him when we first got married.
So you think the conversation would be a little awkward?
Yeah.
What you're saying?
Listen,
fair enough.
They're past that. I don't know. Hey, listen, we got to go to break here. I don't, where how did I get to all these?
I have no idea. You're all over the board today.
I'm just, boy, this This is not good.
You're all riled up because you got the tennis tournament in town.
I'm jacked.
Yeah.
Jacked out there today. It may be pouring rain. I may just stand out like a statue in the rain. Just go out there, and I may just start drinking and just get up there and up top, drink some tequila.
Just be careful, okay?
What do you mean?
They don't need you making a drunken scene at the tennis tournament.
I love you. I love you so much.
That'd be awesome, but
no, that'd be a
you're
bad
running on the court.
Somebody getting a picture and you having that to share with everybody tomorrow.
Or you're the one idiot that won't stop yelling.
Yeah,
you always got that person who's got to get the last word in right before
the serve.
And the guy's got to, please.
What makes somebody do that?
You got to get the last word in. That's big.
Why? And then the guy stops and he looks at the judge and he go, please.
No, you got to get the last vamos Rafa or whatever in there before the.
What are we doing, man? I know you got somebody and you want, somebody to win, and maybe the other one you don't like is serving, but
maybe they think tennis would be more fun if you could just yell the whole match.
Everybody screamed?
Yeah.
You were moving around a lot.
Golf too. Tennis and golf. Why don't we try that? Just let the fans do whatever they want.
Woody, those games, especially that golf, is hard enough, man, without somebody.
Very uptight.
No. Hey, man, I think golf's the hardest game to play. I don't even think it's close. I think golf is the hardest game because you can never get – you can go stages. You hear guys go, man, I just played the best round of my day, and the next day they have trouble shooting par on these tough golf courses. It's couldn't do it, man. And these guys hit thousands of golf balls every day. Anyway, hey, I want to talk about something more important than my crappy golf game. I want to talk to you about Chill Zone, man. Chill Zone. Wow. I tell you what, President Melissa Dave Arona over there, family owned and operated. Just the president says, she comes in here and sits and she says, Joe, I want everybody to know before we start, I know the reputation of this industry. It's terrible. I go, yes, it is. I said, I've seen it up close for a while. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And she says, listen, I take all the phone calls. Sometimes my brother-in-law does. He works in the company too. But we send the crews out, and we think service is very important, and doing it family-owned and operated. We've had people with us a long time serving Dade and Broward County, and they want everybody to know up in Palm Beach, they go up there, and they want to let you know that when they tell you you're going to be somewhere, they tell you need a new air conditioning unit, we can fix the one you have. You're going to get straight talk, and you're going to get great people that really care. And I think once you talk to Melissa on the phone, you will figure that out real quickly. The Chill Zone air conditioning is a great way to go. And if you're just starting to look around, it's getting hot again. You're beating the you-know-what out of those air conditioning units. It's going to be another hot summer coming up here right around the corner. You're going to need an air conditioning company, and you're looking, going, oh, I've tried them. That didn't work. Oh, no. Hey, give Chill Zone air conditioning a shot. I know you're going to love the work they do. All you have to do is call 786-378-2778. Whether you need a new air conditioning unit or the one you have needs to be fixed, not a problem. Duct cleaning as well, 786-378-2778. Tell them you heard it right here on 104.3 WQAM, chillzoneac.com. Get more information and give Melissa and Chill Zone a call today.
WQAM.
in all 50 states on Kalshi. Trade game outcomes, spreads, and more on top seeds and potential Cinderella. Tune in apps.
This report is brought to you by the Casino at Dania Beach. Don't miss the Dania Spring Poker Classic March 11th through 22nd. Stack your chips and take your seat.
And speaking of the Miami Heat, they're on the road tonight in Charlotte, take on the Hornets, who they just recently, in the winning streak, they were part of it up there, got a win not too long ago, 34-34, the Hornets back at 500. The Heat, 38-30, man, with a strong finish here, could finish in one of those top 5 spots. And so we'll see what happens. And the competition and the schedule picks up in a big way because after the Hornets, it's the Lakers at home, which, by the way, is going to be a hot ticket, Woody. Maybe the hottest tickets of the year, if we're to be honest.
You got that on a Thursday, and then you got the Spurs of the next home game.
Wow.
On that Monday on the
How
23rd.
good.
Then you got 2 at Cleveland. Never easy.
No, you got that one day off and then play them, deal with them.
You got Indiana on the road. You got Philly and Boston at home. You got Washington. That should be fun at home.
Yeah, you got listen. There's some games in there
again.
that look good. And Washington is brutal. We're to be honest, but I got to tell you, man, the Wembanyama show right now is as good as there is, man. Wemby is. I don't know if he's your MVP, but when they show highlights, Woody. And I know he didn't have to jump super high.
Oh, still, he's
getting up there. He's making that square look like it's below him. I mean, he's jumping above centers in the league.
I'm glad to see that he came back too, because that injury that he had with the clots or whatever.
Yeah, that was
you never like to hear stuff like that.
No, that's deathly.
Yeah,
that's a bad one.
Good to see him back and playing.
Did you see his 3-point shooting? Shooting 47%.
Yeah, he can
threes.
shoot. He can shoot.
He
can do a little bit of everything. Yep.
Yeah, they got
they got a good team.
You know what I like most about them in the good old boy network of sports. Hey, this is the way we do it at the All-Star game. No, we're not. I'm going to try to block your shot. I'm going to play hard. You decide what you want to do. I think he set the tone for that All-Star game and the 3 teams, 2 of them from the United States and the one from the world. He set the tone for everybody to pick it up. He did. And they got knocked out. They didn't even get to play. The 2 American teams played each other. Was it the red and the blue teams played each other in the finals? But he got everybody playing harder. That's all you wanted to see. Like, have an all-star game. Play a little harder. I'm not saying play it like it's a game 7, but play a little harder. And you got that. And they were giving him credit. Like, yeah, we saw, all right. Hell, he just blocked my shot. Nobody wants to go to those games and get embarrassed having that guy block your shot and, make you look bad. And he basically said, hey, listen, this way I'm going to do it. And if you guys don't like it, it's okay, but it's the way it's going to be. And he's taken that attitude to San Antonio with him. They are fun to watch, man. They are fun to watch. And his game, inside and out, I'm like everybody else. How long can he last? That body is slender. Is he going to be Kevin Durant and be able to play? I remember when Kevin Durant came out when he was 19, everybody said, oh, great score, but he's going to have trouble staying healthy. And he's done okay for himself through his career. So, yeah, but that's, hey, man, we got some good games, good home games for people going to Heat games. It's going to be fun because I don't know how many more times you're going to see LeBron James. I don't think he's going to retire after this year, personally.
No. You think he's going to do one of those years where he announces before the season that it's it.
I can't get a read on how much he needs that love and attention and that gift from every team on the road. I don't know.
LeBron seems like he likes the attention. It's been kind of his
Well,
thing.
it kind of says he doesn't like it, and then it seems like he,
yeah.
It's kind of hard to
He
make
did that
all the
Netflix
money that
show
he's
and-
making exactly
Yeah.
and not, he's just, hey, you know what? So one thing's never going to change. This LeBron and Michael Jordan thing is going to be around. A lot of young people will say, before you start, I just want to tell you, I think LeBron James is better than Michael. And okay. And I think most people my age or in the age of Michael Jordan or a little bit younger will tell you MJ was the greatest player of all time.
Better is such a tough, generic thing too, right? Like LeBron's longevity
Phenomenal.
is unmatched.
He's going to have every record there is.
Might be unmatched by any athlete. I mean,
He's gonna have-
outside of Tom Brady, right? I mean, this is in a sport that, the guy's played how many years worth of basketball in the playoffs. We looked it up the other day. I mean, the guy's played years and years of
I agree.
extra.
He has. He's been durable. He
So,
really has
yeah,
overall.
the
He's been
durability
super-
and the longevity or something
I
we've
don't
never
disagree.
seen before.
I think everything, I think he's
Still playing at a
been a
very
great-
high level.
been a great role model for kids. He really
Yep.
has. All those things, you put them all together, I don't have a problem. Hell, we covered him up close for 4 years here. But
People were brutal to him that first year, especially when
Well,
he was here and he handled all of it.
well, he didn't handle the finals against Dallas real
No,
well.
he shrunk a
decided-
little in the finals. I know, and
he
everyone
decided
was
he wanted
so
to be
happy to
Magic-
see it.
Well, I don't
but-
know if they're happy to see it. He just,
I think the country was very pleased.
the country was, yeah.
Not us, but the country. I think
I'd like to
was-
see him shoot more, especially late in the games. And,
They were brutal to him the first year. Remember, it was like everything the guy would say would be dissected on.
well, they were
TV.
mad. They stacked that team. Yes, the world was mad, and all the
They got off to
national
a
guys-
bad start with the
I-
parade they threw before they played a game.
I've only seen the national media mad twice at two guys for going to new teams. When
Who's the other one?
Kevin Durant went to
Oh,
Golden
yeah.
State and left OKC after Golden State had just knocked them out in the play,
Mhm.
came back to beat them, and he joined them. And he got ripped, just like LeBron. And I don't know, would LeBron have done that? What was that show he had, the decision that he had on? And the guy, he had Jim
Yeah.
Gray doing it with him. All right, LeBron, what have you decided? I'm taking my talents to downtown Miami.
I
I don't
yeah,
know.
it's a tough look, no question.
A lot of people watched it, but
Definitely a tough look, but
hey, whatever you put him in, it's not a shot if you decide that the greatest player of all time is not LeBron James. It's definitely not a shot. I mean, he's one of the greatest of all time, and if you like him and you think he did more things. By the way, some of the guys played with MJ, played with Michael Jordan, and played on teams with him and all-star teams, and they'll say, no, LeBron does more. He's a better player. I don't know.
it's just such a tough, it's a tough argument. LeBron also is built differently than MJ, right? I mean,
I don't
LeBron
care
is an
about size.
unstoppable.
It has
Yeah, but
nothing to do with it.
he's
It has
truly
nothing to do with it.
unstoppable physically.
So are some of the sinners. Come on. I don't think that has anything to do with it. It's about
Yeah,
closing
but
out.
LeBron is the rare, the size and athleticism, I think, is the combination that's been so crazy with him too, right? Like a guy that big and that strong to be as fast.
Might
and-
be the greatest athlete of all, like one of the greatest
Yeah.
athletes of all time. He could have played.
But to say better is is tough because it's like, what do you do basing this on? Like, who would win a one-on-one or
No, I'm
who's
by
had
who,
more of
who,
an
hit-
impact
who
to their
hits who hits
team
big
or-
shots at the end of games, crucial
Okay.
games.
I don't know, LeBron's had his share of big
No.
games,
Yeah.
set game sevens, and
Was there any question who was taking those shots in Chicago during those 6 championships?
no, I know,
Okay.
I know.
That's all. You were a little young. That's all right.
Yeah.
I kind of figured you kind of lean that way today.
I always lean a little LeBron, but
Well, you got his cards and
Yeah.
the whole deal. I mean, you're invested into this thing, man.
somebody said that's like saying Scotty Scheffler is better than Tiger Woods. That's not happening.
No,
Wow, come on, it's golf.
that's not a great example either.
Yeah,
You got to do better. You
we're
got to
talking
go.
about hitting golf balls. Come on,
We're
now.
talking about Jack and Tiger. That's the only conversation to be had in that game. There's no. I'm
Jordan
sorry.
does have more championships. That is definitely true.
Hey, just on this golf thing real quickly, and we'll leave it. The only thing they have in common is Jack and Tiger. That's it. Nobody else. Team individual sports, it's very easy because that thing is all about those championships. And I'm seeing it in tennis right now. He's not my favorite champion, but Joker's the greatest of all time. You know why, Woody?
Because he's won the most.
He's won the most of those majors, man.
Also very easy in an individual sport to do that.
Yeah, that'd be.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's very simple.
Team sports is harder. I do agree with that. There's
a
lot of parts to it, Woody. You're
going to get people like if we asked who the best football player of all time is, you'll get a lot of different answers.
That's true.
So not everyone's going to say Brady. I'm sure there's a lot of people think Mahomes is better than Brady.
You can't say that. So no, you can't go
Well,
that
you
far.
could say that. I mean, I'm sure there's people that would argue that.
Like whatever you think.
Mahomes is a more talented player than Brady. I don't think that's debatable.
We don't do the most talented. We're not doing most talented.
I know. And Mahomes' career is also far from over. So,
Well, he better, by the way, don't get hurt too much because Tom Brady played till he was 45 and was productive the whole time except 1 year where he blew his knee out. He got hit low. And outside of that, he put up his numbers and his championships. Is kind of hard to argue about how great a player he is, no matter what. And he looks too good, too. That's not fair to look that good on top of it. You see him chasing all these. He's chasing high-quality stuff around, man.
High-quality stuff?
High-quality talent that he is dating, yes.
I see.
That's what I meant.
Quarterbacks all seem to be doing very well for themselves these days. Joe Burrow.
What's Joe with now?
Doing well. I saw he was out with a few girls. They had him on TMZ the other day. He might be with that Tate McRae, the singer.
Oh.
And then I know the other one, Herbert, is with the other singer.
Yeah. Yeah,
the quarterbacks seem to be doing well.
Quarterbacks are all madly in love with Josh Allen. Didn't he marry an actress?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, they say the quarterbacks get all the good ones. All right, hey, I'll tell you who else does a great job. I'm going to switch signs here for just a second. Harvey Cohn and Gary Judah, thank you guys, man. Thank you for not only being good friends, but the work you do for people when they get injured in a slip and fall, automobile accident. Yeah, I'm talking about the partners of Cohn and Judah Injury Law Firm, personal injury attorneys in Plantation, and the same partners ready to handle your case from start to finish with more than 30 years of experience each. Hey, there's a couple things going on here before you make a decision. First of all, you're in pain, and you want somebody to represent you that's going to take care of you, man. And you see all these law firms. They're all over TV. You hear their radio ads with the beautiful music in the background. They're nice. But do they handle your case? Do they actually handle your case? Do they sit down from day one and handle your case? Do they personally keep you updated on how your case is going? The answer in most cases is no, they don't. Hey, one thing about Gary and Harvey, you shake their hand and you're off and running. There are no other attorneys. You're getting those two guys. And, hey, they are big enough to go to trial and get you multi-million-dollar results and small enough just to call you back. Go to ConanJudah.com, read the reviews. There are no handoffs. Matter of fact, the other day, Harvey said, he's a big football fan, big Dolphin fan. He goes, Joe, we only see handoffs. I only want to talk about handoffs in football. I don't want to see handoffs when an attorney that has his name on the law firm hands off to another attorney that just joined it, that's right out of law school. You don't want that. You want somebody with experience can handle your case from start to finish, even has time to call you back and give you updates even on the weekend on your case and what's going on. Go to ConanJudah.com, 866-FAIR-FEE. And remember this, they don't pay other lawyers to do the work. You hire them to do.
The Canes have an NCAA tournament game Friday versus
and more on top seeds and potential Cinderella stories. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code FAN to get $10 when you trade 10. KALSHI, Kalshi. Trade on anything. I'm Amy, and that's traffic on FM 104.3. And you can also listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
You're listening to The Joe Rose Show. This hour is brought to you by Baptist Health.
And now, it's time for Hollywood's headlines. Without further ado, here's Hollywood.
All right, what do you have for us here this morning?
This is funny. I actually just saw this. Remember we were talking about the other yesterday, I guess, how much fireworks would cost, right, to do a fireworks show?
Yeah.
Apparently Rutgers football spent more than anyone else in fireworks last season. They spent $191,159 on fireworks.
Jeez.
They have a breakdown. It's just like this freedom of information thing, so you can get these numbers. So they spent almost $200,000 on fireworks.
I always wonder if anybody out there that's so rich that they had the fireworks show at a special occasion, like I saw at the wedding down in the Keys. I mean, the timing was perfect. I felt like we should have given them like half the money because the timing of the party ending and the fireworks going off. And then most of the people that were there for the party the night before, Woody, they all thought like, wow, this is so nice of these families, whichever family paid for it. It's so nice to have these fireworks. And it went forever. Of course, I'd had about 17 tequilas by then, but Woody, it was like unbelievable. Great show.
All right.
Love to know what they spent.
All right, let's get to this. I was trying to get to this yesterday here, Joe, but apparently we have another H-N. This is Travis Etienne.
Surprised me a little bit. That's going to throw a lot of old guys a curveball.
Yeah, listen to this.
Two teams.
So growing up, it's Travis Etienne. So it'd be like ACHANE. And that's how you always said Travis Etienne. But when I went to college, I kept telling them my name like every day. And like after like 4 weeks, they just couldn't get it. So I'm like, man, it's Etienne. Like how you see it is how you say it. So that's how that became. And it kind of took off because it was easy for the pronouncers to say it. I didn't have to correct them every day to say my name. Just when I kind of just started learning more about my last name and how it came about and things like that, it just kind of stuck. It made sense. But I'm very much open to being Travis Etienne again, just being myself. I don't have to correct people here on how to say my name each and every day. And I kind of love that. And that's just get back to me.
Boy, that's not even close.
No.
Etienne, you know, for years now, it's been, whether it's his brother or him, you just go Etienne, right?
There's an E and a T. I don't know how they're getting H-N, but
the H-N?
Whatever.
I heard Devon called him and said, hey, brother, what's going on here, man? I was fighting with H-Chain and finally got them all saying H-N. What the hell are you doing?
Man, that one was very – so now you got all these people coming out of the woodworks that are like, you know, you're saying my name wrong. Omar went on Twitter yesterday, and I think he's being serious. You'll have to ask him about this later in the week, but he said he's Caribbean. His name is pronounced Amar.
Are you serious?
That's what he said. I don't know if he's kidding or –
so he's Irish from the island is what he is. Because I didn't, you know, Omar. This is a big St. Patty's Day, big day for him. Omar's going to be having corned beef and cabbage this afternoon. Yeah, everybody's going to.
Okay.
You know, whatever.
Here we go, Joe.
Yeah.
Here's a story for you. Alabama getting set to play in the NCAA tournament.
Oh, this is a bad story.
Yeah, this is a weird one here. Their star guard here just got arrested Monday
Was this
morning.
Georgia or Alabama this happened?
Where did it happen?
No. Which team?
Oh,
Georgia?
Alabama.
Oh,
Alabama.
Okay. I wasn't sure which one.
So he got arrested, had a pound of weed on him, which, you know, I don't know how many people are getting arrested for weed these days, but if you have a pound, I think that's probably not a good
Somebody
situation.
out there, can you help me? I don't know how much a pound of
I don't either.
Marijuana is. What's the value on it?
Yeah, I don't know. I probably should have looked that up in advance.
I got a cousin that grows it up in the mountains. Let me call him. That's what he does for a living. Let me call him.
Yeah. I mean, I'm more of a gummy guy, so I don't really know how this works. But I'm guessing a pound is a significant amount. That seems like it's like
probably more than a guy
intent
that's the
to sell.
second leading scorer in Alabama should have. Yeah.
Yeah. So he may miss the first game of the tournament.
May
here,
miss the
perhaps.
first game. May never play again in Alabama or anywhere else.
He did post his bond, so he's out.
Making a lot of money. You're the second leading scorer in Alabama. What are you making? You're making at least 500.
No, I would think that'd be in the seven figures. That'd be in the million range, I would think.
I don't think people realize
he's got a lot of money to buy
top basketball players in college basketball on all these teams. They're not getting $50,000 a year.
No. At Alabama?
No.
I'm sure this guy's in the millions, Joe.
Yeah.
But this is not a good situation here. He faces up to 10 years in jail.
Stupid. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? It can't be about money.
That's like, remember we would see guys that got caught like, right before the combine, right before one of those things, they'd have the drugs in the hotel. They just couldn't stop for like a few days. This guy's getting ready to play in the tournament.
Yeah.
Couldn't make it. Could not make it.
Goodbye, Alabama. Anyway, what else you got?
All right, Joe. I don't know if you knew this, but apparently Florida is they allow you to marry your cousin still in Florida. You aware of this? A Florida measure to ban marriage between first cousins died last week after a bill it was tucked into failed to pass the state's House of Representatives.
I did not know that cousins could get married. I just don't know any cousins.
Yeah.
Very close to a lot of my cousins, but never dated any of them. Yeah,
cousin marriage used to be commonplace in many communities. It was legal in all then 34 states during the Civil War. I think there's been advances since then.
You think?
Florida is not the only state, Joe, where marrying cousins is still legal.
Alabama.
New York, Massachusetts, New Jersey, California.
Real California?
There are 16 states where first cousins are allowed to get married with no restrictions.
Wow. All right.
Connecticut only banned cousin marriage last year, it says, with a recent crackdown on that. So
that's a weird one. I have a lot of first cousins. A lot of first cousins.
Never thought about.
I think I have on my dad's side like 25 first cousins.
You never thought about marrying one of them?
Not one of them.
Went
to high school with a whole bunch of them too. Any
right.
given time, 4 or 5 of them behind or in front of me or the same year.
One more story for you here, Joe. Right out of South Florida in Boca, we had a Real Housewives couple get arrested for allegedly stealing thousands of dollars worth of Publix groceries.
Why?
So it's Melanie and Petrus Viljoen.
I don't know.
Something. Anyway, they're out of Boca. And they did what they call price tag swapping, which is where you switch the label on different items at Publix. It's called, ticket switching or whatever. And you take they would take a bottle of wine and they would switch the label and then they'd go to the self-checkout lane. They were accused of stealing several items from Publix, including sparkling waters and wines. The couple's accused of stealing a total of 392 items across 52 transactions between August 2025 and March 2026. They've been following these people for a while here. Police also claim they're suspected of stealing toilet paper, soda, produce, and more groceries. So it's quite embarrassing.
You had me a couple of stories today, Woody, I wasn't prepared for, man.
You'd think those housewife couples are making money for those shows, right?
Yeah.
Enough to buy their groceries, you'd think.
I'm still trying to get off the first cousins, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't know why I did that. I was reading one of the New York papers, and it had that in there because they like to take shots at Florida sometimes. And so I don't know. I threw that in there.
Right.
Caught me off guard, too. I didn't know that there would be laws against something like that. I just figured that was just like a frowned upon thing, like a unwritten rule. Right?
I just can't imagine my dad and one of his sisters going, God, I'm so happy that our kids ended up together. Kind of strange.
Yeah, keep it in the family.
Yeah, keep it in the family, Woody. Hey, Wood, we've got Kyle Crabb's going to join us, host of Locked On Fins, A to Z Sports, NFL analyst, and get caught up as, boy, this guy's been working, man. Been working and takes a look. We'll take a look at the roster and what's left to do before they get to the draft and some of the players they've added, including another offensive lineman and where the lineman might fit in. We'll get you caught up on all that and where the Dolphins so far have gone in very cheap free agency to this point. Right now, though, I want to take a moment to tell you it's Chevy Truck Month, and that means it is time right now if you're starting to look around for a truck that can work the way you work, and when it comes to a family truck, whether it comes to a truck that you still like to pull around all your toys, from a couple of wave runners to maybe a boat on the weekend, going fishing, going out and enjoying yourself with your family, you need a truck that we've got at Silverado, man. We got a truck that's absolutely perfect for you. Yes, Chevy Truck Month, and that means Silverado 1500s, the Colorado, the Silverado HD, and the great Silverado EV. Visit your local South Florida Chevy dealers for great offers going on right now. Take test drives. Hey, whether it's a full-time working truck, like I said, a truck that you make a living out of 5, 6, 7 days a week, something that's strong and durable the way you are, well, that's the way Silverados are built. That's why they're our number one selling trucks and ready to make sure you get a great experience at 14 dealerships throughout South Florida. Take advantage of it. Got great deals going on. Got extra trucks. Chevy Truck Month. It's on right now at your South Florida Chevy dealers.
Brad Evans here to help you.
I'm national champion Miami Hurricanes and Miami Hurricanes basketball.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This update is brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less than your pricito at Doral Kia. Visit us at Doral Kia, DoralKia.com. Starting with the Heat, will be in Charlotte tonight to take on the Hornets. Tip-off is at 7. The game can be heard on 104.3 FM. Over to the Panthers, who are in Vancouver for a matchup with the Canucks. The puck drops at 10. That game can be heard on 560 AM. To baseball, the USA will take on Venezuela tonight in the championship game of the World Baseball Classic. The first pitch is at 8 from Lone Depot Park. The Marlins will continue spring training against the Mets. Their first pitch is at 1:10 from Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. And in tennis, the Miami Open continues today from Miami Gardens with qualifying matches. The Joe Rose Show continues now. And it is time to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood Hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com. Joe.
All right, Woody, thank you so much. And a guy that I have great respect for that joins us a lot here on the show, Kyle Krabs, the host of Locked on Fins and A to Z Sports NFL analyst and doing a lot of other things. Spends a lot of time with this Miami Dolphin roster they're trying to put together right now. And we say good morning to Kyle. Hey, Kyle, before we get rolling here, they picked up a lot of guys. I know I get asked all the time of some of the moves, couple of wide receivers, couple of offensive linemen, including Charlie Heck, who they just grabbed in there, and a couple of pass rushers and a lot of corners and safeties. I think a lot of people know which guys you like to potentially come in and be real solid starters right off the bat.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting collection of names that they added to the mix. I look at two guys on defense that I really like their outlook with how the roster is currently built to have nice roles in 2026. Cornerback Darrell Baker, who they signed from Tennessee, I think he's got 17 starts in the last 2 seasons, has kind of been one of those players that just always finds his way into the lineup. And you look at the cornerbacks that they went after, whether that's Baker and Alex Austin, and they bring back A.J. Green and they add Marco Wilson, and you stack that on top of Juju Brents, Ethan Bonner, they brought back Jason Marshall. A lot of physical guys. And that's the thing that, like, Baker is, he's like a 6'1" corner. He's very explosive linear-wise. He's got good length. That kind of looks like that's the archetype that they've kind of been carving out at corner, and a guy that has the starting experience that he does the last couple seasons. I'd say Darrell Baker, I think, has a chance to come in here and compete, depending on obviously what they do in the draft, to win a corner spot. And then Josh Uche in the edge rush room where they really needed some help. A very accomplished pass rusher. I know he didn't get a ton of volume this past year in Vic Fangio's defense in Philadelphia, but he's somebody that definitely has the kind of pass rush profile that is going to play in the NFL. It's really just a question of how often you get into long and late downs to really let him shine, because that's where he's best served. And obviously part of that is the conversation around the overall construction of the team this year and how young they are, and how often are you going to be playing with a lead, and how often are you going to be in third and longs, right? Like, I think those things maybe depend on how big of an impact we feel and see in the stat sheet for Josh Uche. But those two guys can play, and they got those guys in here, and I think those guys will contend for potentially starting spots.
God, we got a couple of receivers, to guys that in 2024 both put up good numbers, in Atwell and Tolbert from the Rams and from the Dallas Cowboys. Where do you fit them in? I think they both have a really good chance of not only making the squad, obviously, but playing. Where do you see them potentially? Now, like you said, they could take a receiver real early in the draft, but where do you see them fitting in along with Waddle on the outside?
Yeah, so I think Atwell is the guy who runs the for the love of the game routes. You're going to run a lot of stuff on the vertical plane. He's got that terrifying speed, that just raw speed. He's not a big receiver, but you could play him at Z and have him run the big posts and the fly routes and the fades and create some vertical lift, and have that be a player who maybe only gets a handful of targets in a game. But if you connect on one down the field, especially with a quarterback now that can hold the ball a little bit longer and create some stuff outside of structure, he might be a little explosive play reliant and not like high efficiency yield type player. But I certainly think he's got a role to play. And then Tolbert, He was that kind of receiver at South Alabama, but he's like a high 4.9 or 4.49 is in the 40 time. So he doesn't have like the 4.3 speed that some of the other guys do. So he's kind of had to work on crafting his route running ability throughout the course of his rookie contract in Dallas. And you saw the flashes in 24, and then Dallas comes out, they get George Pickens, and there's not a lot of extra targets to go around when you got CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, right? So I think my archetype for Tolbert would be maybe the player that they were hoping to get when they signed Cedric Wilson from Dallas a few years back, but obviously not on the $7 million a year deal that Cedric Wilson signed a few weeks before they ended up trading for Tyreek Hill, right? Like signing Cedric Wilson's one thing, but signing him to a contract to be a starter and then trading for Hill, that was part of what kind of watered down the initial Cedric Wilson experience. But he's got some good density to him, Tolbert. He does some blue collar stuff. He's got really good body control along the sideline. So I think those are two guys that I wouldn't say they're locks to make the 53, just because you never know how a wide receiver room is going to shake out. Do you keep 4? Do you keep 6? I think that can be complicating as well. But I see both of those guys being viable guys to have a role in an NFL wide receiver room for Miami next year.
Let's talk about Jamari Sawyer. Left tackle, right guard, 40 starts. Can he come in? And not the left tackle position. Could you see him grabbing one of those guard positions to start the season and ready to go?
Yeah, I want to tip the cap to Barry Jackson with the Herald here. I believe he reported yesterday that part of the reason Sawyer chose Miami was they were going to give him a chance to come in and win a starting guard spot. So that is, I love that for the idea of competition. I think that's only reinforced by them signing Charlie Heck yesterday, who's been a left-right swing tackle during his career in the NFL. He actually played with Bobby Slowick in 2023 when Slowick was the OC in Houston, and Charlie Heck played, I think, just over 250 snaps if you include the playoff game that they played that year. So Heck has experience as a swing tackle. Sawyer coming in with a chance to, whether that's take the right guard spot. I'll be interested to see what they do with Jonah. Do you keep him at left guard with how rough it was? He had more experience in college on the right side. I kind of consider that whole situation to be no holds barred, just kind of where's everybody best served and comfortable. And I think Sawyer's best tape in the NFL has come on the left side. Now, most of that's been at left tackle, but, maybe he's a left-handed stance player, and maybe he's got a better chance to win the left guard spot. So I certainly think he's going to come in, and they've got a wide-open situation there at guard. They need as many bodies that are competent and capable of competing to start as possible, and I like that he has position flex, and I like that they're going to give a chance to try to win a starting job.
I'm glad you brought up Savaiinaea. Played a lot. I mean, hell, he played every snap. What's your take? Did you see him get better? Did you see him? I don't think he lost confidence. He just played against some really good players. At times he looked good, and then times there were big breakdowns. Going into year 2, it's usually the biggest jump. But what do you see from Savaiinaea coming back for year 2?
Yeah, I know. He's a player a lot of the fan base is down on, and I understand why, because the losses were very visible and they were fast, and you don't want to lose fast inside, right? And so I wouldn't consider him to be a stone cold lock to start, but I also wouldn't give up on him, right? You've seen plenty of guys that come in and make a big leap from year 1 to year 2, and it certainly seems like he's wired the right way. I think having some parallels with what the scheme is versus what the scheme was, or at least you're anticipating that with Slowick being off the same coaching tree. I think maybe some of the consistency there will help him and prevent like this big, massive kind of have to relearn everything as far as what the techniques are. I think that's part of the challenge for the offensive line coaches to try to figure out how to make the light bulb come on. So if you told me he was a starter, I'd probably bet on him to be a starter when it was all said and done right now, just because the physical ability is obviously there. It's just time on task, acclimation to playing at this position. He'd never played left guard before last season. So that was kind of the interesting thing, was he played right tackle, he played left tackle, he played right guard. He never played left guard in college, and he kind of got the whole baptism this year. So I'm hopeful. I don't know how convicted I am with my optimism, but I'm hopeful that, this is a physically talented player, you know, so, and he's got a chance to really flip the script this year. So I'm interested to see what he does. But I think the fact that they've put competition in that room already, and I assume there's going to be more with all the top 100 picks that they have to use, I think is only going to help everybody figure out who the best two guys are to start.
With that group of receivers, I want to go back and ask you one more besides Waddle being the number one guy. Could you see Atwell and Tolbert going into the 2 and 3 spots ahead of some other guys that, got a lot of experience, got a lot of playing time last year? We could see those two guys moving ahead of them with a fresh start in the offense?
I think it is interesting where I think Atwell can be a high-volume snap taker as the Z receiver. So I don't know that he's going to be number 2 on the target share, but I think he has the opportunity to play a lot of reps because of just that you always need that, whether it's an alert or a big route down the field to kind of help space the whole field. So I think Atwell is really going to have that at his advantage as far as competing for snaps. And then I think Tolbert has a chance to, he has inside-outside flexibility. I think Malik Washington is a little bit more of a true slot receiver with his skill set. So I think those two guys have a chance to maybe be competing for, if you're in 11 personnel, is it Tolbert? Is it Malik? Malik obviously has a special teams value, so you're not really super worried about what the impact that he's going to bring to the 53 and on game day is, even if Tolbert ends up taking some snaps. I think you're probably missing one viable receiving target in that room right now, and whether that's does Malik step up, does Tolbert step up, does Theo Weiss in year 2 step up? They got competition. And it might be they're not going to have enough to get everything done, right? So this might be a room where you look at and say, hey, we're going to have to roll with what we got this year, just because I especially think I'd love to see another receiving target in the tight end room. The offensive line has the needs that it's talked about, and then you get into pass rush and secondary on defense. We still got some work to do.
If I'm Greg Dulcich, I'm glad to see Bobby Slowick still here as the offensive coordinator, because I think he doubles his catches this year. 50 catches would not surprise me. He was so much better than I thought and just got better and better, not just the catch, but run after the catch. What a nice little pickup they had with him.
Yeah, man, and especially now when you start to project the offense, where what skill set you're going to have a quarterback this year with Malik Willis and the run game opportunities that they're going to try to build. And, that was something that they talked about they want to be as an offense, is running the ball and the success, and how you can build, especially with this branch of offense. Now you can build your play action pass and your boot game off of that, where Greg was so good on so many of his touches last year was they'd have him delay release off the front side into the flat to the side of the boot, or they'd have him off the ball and he'd take split flow like he was going to kick the defensive end and then bluff him and get out into the flat fat. Right. And you get the ball down into his hands, and that's where all those yards after catch usually came with Greg. And I think with an athletic quarterback to run the boot game and the play action passing now, that's just that much more stress to freeze that end man on the line of scrimmage and that flat defender, where potentially you're going to have a bunch of pop opens for him as the first progression on the boot action. And he showcased just how good he was with the ball in his hands last year.
From what they've added, does it change any way that you're drafting with all the needs they had before free agency started with the holes in this team? Does it change at all?
No, I don't think so. Just because that's where you get in trouble, right? It's like, okay, we check this box, so let's cross this position off the list. I want to see them allocating the best talent that they perceive as a fit for their locker room and the kind of culture that they want to create. Whether that's a wide receiver or a tight end or an offensive lineman or a corner or an edge rusher, I think there's higher probabilities that it's going to be some of those positions than others.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're farming talent, right? You can't guarantee which one of these 24 free agents you signed is going to actually hit, right? There's going to be some variance. Some guys are going to overperform your expectations. Some guys might underperform your expectations or your hopes for them.
Yeah.
So if you have a big deal of conviction, regardless of whether you're deep in a position or not, one of the best picks in the first round last year was the Bucs drafting Emeka Egbuka at wide receiver. And that was when they re-signed Chris Godwin in free agency and still had Mike Evans. And everybody said, oh, well, it's a odd pick, right? Egbuka is the third wide receiver. And lo and behold, the same thing with Seattle when they drafted Jackson Smith and Jigba, when they had DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett on the roster, right? So, and I'm not saying that just has to be wide receiver. That could be any position. But by and large, if you've got the conviction around the guy, take the guy. Don't worry about the position.
Hey, before I let you go, which Dolphin released or traded from last year will have the best year? Minka with the Jets, Tua with the Falcons, Bradley Chubb with the Bills, or Jalen Phillips with the Panthers? Who has a big breakout year and stays healthy?
And if Jalen stays healthy, I think that's a great situation in Carolina with what else they've put on that defense. And they've spent a lot of money in free agency the last couple of years to really build that roster up. And they've got some big-time talents on that defensive line with Derek Brown, and I like Bobby Brown, and they just released Ashawn Robinson, and they drafted a couple guys. I like Nick Scorton, who was their second-round pick from last year. So I think JP's in a great situation if he stays healthy to kind of maybe finally see the sack production mirror what his pressure rates look like during the course of his time in Miami, and then, of course, last year in Philly, where he was a guy who had pressure seemingly every possession but just didn't get the sack numbers to follow it up.
Man, we're just getting started. What a great little teaser, man. In early free agent, all these guys got a little bit of experience, all about the same age, that 26, 27-year-old guys that getting a second chance to get their careers really get them going again. It's going to be fun to watch for sure. Kyle, thank you, man. Really appreciate you coming on, brother.
Great chatting with you.
All right. Kyle Krabs, host of Locked On Fins and A to Z Sports, NFL analyst, joining us this morning. We got a lot more stuff. Dan Radakovich, University of Miami AD, man, the AD of the year, is going to join us coming up here in this 8 o'clock hour. Clayton McCall, Marlins manager, will join us early 9 o'clock hour as well. Hey, I want to talk about Dr. Barry and Recovery Unplugged. They do great work. Boy, I'll tell you what, you're going through depression, drinking too much, messing around with drugs, and now you got yourself in a real bad funk and you can't get out of it. Your friends have tried to say, hey, man, you need to do something. You get so bad you can't even answer the door. You don't want to see people. All you want to do is sleep and not be seen. Listen, man, I'm here to tell you about Dr. Barry and Recovery Unplugged. It's a new year, and that means a fresh start, new goals, and a chance to reset. And if your mental health needs a comeback season, Recovery Unplugged Behavioral Health is here to help you with a beautiful mental health residential program right here in Fort Lauderdale. They've helped over 20,000 people nationwide with expert care, music-based healing, innovative treatments like ketamine therapy for depression, anxiety, and trauma. Hey, make this the year you put yourself back out and make yourself a priority. Get back on the road, man. Get back the way things used to be. You can do it. Call 954-737-4508 or visit recoveryunplugged.com. New year, new you. Recovery Unplugged, heal out loud.
Text
Accident clearing northbound 95 at the iHeartRadio and TuneIn apps.
Hey, welcome back, and good morning to everybody. Woody, I haven't looked behind me. How are we doing on the weather so far? Is it behaving? Or
I've not seen the sun yet.
Yeah,
usually
right.
we do
All
by
right.
now.
Well, listen, man.
It might clear up though. You never know.
Weather gods got to understand. I know, and by the way, I know I saw the Everglades. They need some water. Don't get me wrong. We're going to get plenty of it. It's coming up. Hang in there. But you got to take care of the Miami Open first. We can't. We need the good weather. And by the way, they're going to do everything possible between the sun coming out today and overcast to make sure they get all those tennis matches in today. And we got some great potential matchups that we'll be telling you about and keep you updated on every day. But we got something else going on tonight as well, man. The United States of America and Venezuela in the World Baseball Classic Championship game. I thought USA had a good chance to be there, obviously, as the favorite. But Venezuela was my fourth or fifth choice. And here they are, man. And they had to come from behind last night against Italy. Italy was up 2-0 early. And Venezuela scores 3 runs in the 7th, comes back to win that game. And so here we go. Venezuela obviously got a really good team. I don't need to tell you. If you follow baseball and you see it, they've got, and by the way, one of the guys played here, won a batting championship here, right? Arise. He, guy can hit, man. And he's going to be playing for the San Francisco Giants. And we are very excited on the West Coast to know that he's going to be out there. Doesn't hit a lot of home runs, but man, he gets a lot of hits, a lot of big hits, and did it again last night as well. So anyway, we got that tonight. United States, nobody got more pressure on them to win this tournament than they do, even more than the Dominicans, who obviously had, I don't know, that lineup was crazy. That thing was unbelievable. But United States, that lineup is not too shabby. I mean, you got to make tough decisions on who to play some guys, some young superstars or some of the veteran superstars that are on that team. But they lose this, they're going to get blasted. It won't be, hey, what a great game in the finals. If the USA doesn't win, we're going to be breaking down how Judge played, how Harper played, the whole group of stars will be under the microscope because we just love to get after people. I just figured out, something like the Bam Adebayo story was just a reminder to me. He scores 83 points, and I hear from not only talk show hosts, which you expect, they're in different markets, and especially in LA, and what an embarrassment the way that the Heat handled this and did the whole thing. But some of the former players too, like I heard one guy that's on the radio overnight here, complete idiot, really a complete idiot, made a comment that you could do that and have a lot of guys score in the 80s if you set it up. Because he was knocking him he did not shoot threes well in that game after the first quarter. 7 of 22 or something on threes in the game. Took a lot. But he was trying to make a point that, like anybody, if you do it that way, we can have a lot of guys scoring 80 points in a game. That's just not true. That's just not true. First of all, most teams are never going to let you ever have that opportunity. If you're mad at anybody, don't be mad at Bam. Be mad at Washington for taking sucking to a whole new level. Be mad at that. But this thing that anybody can score 80 points in a game of, if you want to keep a guy in or if you're getting blown out and you just say stay in and keep shooting, and I don't buy that. I don't buy that every guy has a chance. Any scorer in the league can score 80 points. I don't buy it. First of all, you're right about one thing. Most teams would never let you get close to that because nobody wants to be on the other side of that. Second of all, you still got to have some skill set to be able to do it. So Bam gets bashed, but it really doesn't matter because it's not going away.
It is sad, though, it turned into as much negativity as it did, right? But that's every story.
Yes.
These days. I mean, even the U.S. hockey thing, that ended up getting negative. Like, there's something bad about everything.
So the manager, this guy DeRose, he messed up, right? The way he handled, he didn't know he thought they'd already clinched the.
Oh, that one, yeah, that was
bad.
bad.
But like they were, some of the guys, these idiots were calling for to be fired.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, fire me. I'm making so much money doing this for till baseball starts up.
Yeah, right.
Like we're in this thing, man, and we want to get rid of somebody quickly. You say something that's not right. We were talking radio, and some stuff that's recently happened to me, which is fine. And not everybody's going to like everybody, and I understand that. My personality is not for everybody. Well, it's not. People feel the same, about you. Like, hey, I don't really like. It's going to be everybody. Sure. Nobody's going to be totally liked by everybody. But people that sit back and wait for somebody to say something that's not correct, like I could use this as an example. I shouldn't do it. No, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, we got to get to.
Yeah, we got more important stuff. Good call. You saved me from getting in trouble because I really wanted to let a rip on something. Anyway. We got more stuff to get to here, but before we do, I want to let you know something that's pretty cool that's coming up here for everybody, and that is opening day. Man, the Marlins are making it really special. It's coming up March 27th. The Fighting Fish face the Colorado Rockies at 7:10 p.m. The first 25,000 fans through the gates will receive the first ever Marlins opening day bobblehead featuring Kyle Stowers, presented by ADT, and to cap off the night, with spectacular post-game fireworks show that they're putting together. So bring the kids. I believe it's a Friday night, so you can enjoy yourself. You don't have to rush out of there. Enjoy the fireworks and get that bobblehead and really enjoy it. Hey, by the way, we're going to be giving away free tickets, but if you don't get those, welcome to a new season of Marlins baseball. Get your tickets now at marlins.com/opening day. It's going to be a fun one.
WQAM.
which can often have serious impact
SUV in
Don't miss the Danish Spring Poker Classic March. Total guarantees. Join the fun at the casino at Dania Beach.
It is time to head back out to the Toyota of Hollywood Hotline Shop. Over 2,000 Toyotas on sale, one location, Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan, toyotaofhollywood.com.
Hey, you know how this show goes. I know sometimes everybody goes, it gets a little negative in the morning. I go, hey, man, when we got good stories, we like those too. Dan Radakovich, University of Miami Athletic Director, now Athletic Director of the Year. Dan, congratulations, man. That's pretty cool.
Well, Joe, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I feel like it might be a little bit of a lifetime achievement award, but you know what? A lot of times those things come by and you just say thank you and you appreciate all the good people you work with and the student athletes who perform and the institution that provides you the opportunity, and you just say thanks. It's very humbling.
Well, listen, it's there's a lot more pressure. You know that, and I'm sure you feel it. They feel it as head coaches under you and everything else. And football team goes 13-3 and a last drive away from a championship, national championship. The basketball team, my God, that story, 25-8, that came out of nowhere after a rough year the year before, on their way to Missouri to get ready for a game. So, hey, a nice start for this season so far.
Well, it has been, and you know, I think that you got to give a lot of credit to Jay and the team that he pulled together, because it's really not easy. I mean, he had to replace everybody, all the the staff, the players. The whole thing is brand new, and for him to be able to pull all those people together, have him pulling the wagon in the same direction, and having the ability to get 25 wins and 12 in the ACC, it just. It's phenomenal, and just so proud of him. We're going to St. Louis to play in the Enterprise Center against. We're going to St. Louis, Missouri, to play Missouri. Now you can chew on that for a little while and wonder how the folks in Indianapolis, we maybe need to give them a map. But whatever it is, we're going to be ready. We've had some great success on the road, so there's nothing about this draw that gives me pause, other than we know that we're going to show up, play hard, and represent the university in a great way.
It is a great question, though. A 10 seed playing at home, 2 hours away, not bad for the home fan base. There's no question about that one for a head scratcher. Hey, Dan, we got a lot of stuff to get to in the business, if you don't mind. I see the president of the United States even getting involved, and Nick Saban, and putting together this committee, and all the people are giving their 2 seconds of what their thoughts are and how to fix it. We know what the problems are. What are your thoughts on the transfer portal where it is, tampering right now, which is obviously ongoing? The NIL is, listen, money's not going down. It's only going up on players.
Well, that's true. Without any kind of change in the rules, that probably will continue to happen. Tampering or impermissible contact, whichever word you want to use, I think has been out there for a while. I think you saw Coach Sweeney come out with a fairly egregious type of circumstance. I mean, the kid was on their campus going to school. Then all of a sudden he leaves to go somewhere else. I mean, that was one that was kind of interesting. But until we get a grasp on the transfer portal and understanding the ability for a student athlete to transfer once with no issues or no ramifications, but if they have to do it again outside of a coach leaving, I don't know that that's good business for college athletics.
I agree.
But we have no way to stop it right now, and that's why a lot of the conversation has been in Washington, D.C. about a limited antitrust exemption, even a time-limited antitrust exemption to allow the NCAA to do their work as an organization without the fear of going to court, each and every time they make a ruling that someone doesn't like, or a state attorney general has the ability to change or interpret the laws differently in their states. So I think that would allow the NCAA to come back and do some things that might be able to, you're not going to put the toothpaste back in the tube. I mean, that's just not going to happen. All deference to President Trump, we're not going to be able to have it the way we had it before. Okay. But we can make it better. And I think we could make it better by, just instituting some opportunities, associated with, the transfer portal and not having all those things happen at one time.
Another thought, transfer portal is going on. You guys are playing in the championship game, and the week before, and all these guys, these top guys are signing in all these different places. And I know you got staff to do that. They're not all worried about the game coming up that week in the playoffs, but it just seems awkward, man. Like Mario Cristobal, worried about his team getting them ready to go against Ohio State, and you got some of the top guys in the country. I thought he did a great save with some of the guys you're able to get after the championship game, but would you like to see that change somehow till everybody can get involved equally?
Well, you have something that the NFL and, a lot of people compare us to the time in the NFL where they have their free agency period, after the season is over. Well, those folks really don't go to school. So we have to be able to find a spot either early in January for that to happen. And maybe what we need to do, Joe, is move the season up to kind of end it a little earlier. So there are fewer and fewer teams that are bothered by that semester break type of circumstance, and keep the ability for transfers to enroll in new schools at the beginning of the spring semester. There are others that, conversely to that, there are others that think, well, maybe we should wait until the end of the semester and have the student athletes go at the end of the spring semester. Maybe they gather more credits, et cetera, which is a great idea. Kind of will put them a little closer to graduation. But what do you do with the student athlete who says, I'm announcing my intention to transfer? Do they work out with your team? Do they still eat with the team through the nutrition centers? Do they get academic support? I mean, they're there, but they're really not with the team. So there is no there's no real good timing for that to happen. So you just go with this. And because we have, we have nice sized staffs with people who have, singular roles in evaluating talent and recruiting during that period, maybe that is the best time for us. But it wouldn't surprise me if at some point in time we try a spring portal window. It won't be this year, but maybe into the future, to see if there's a better way to do that. But what I just explained are kind of the issues associated with both sides of it.
Hey, Danny, the other one is, and I like some of the agents and good friends with Drew and have known, but now the NFL agents are the marketing guys. They have all the college athletes for marketing. And I get what the big picture is for them when they're done. And if they're good players, they get drafted and he's their agent, or they're their agents. But I mean, they're also got a green light to basically on your behalf go anywhere in the country, and you might not have anything to do with it. And the guy goes, oh man, can you try to get me a better deal? I'd love to go there and play. And that stuff's going on, right? I mean, there's nothing to really stop those guys from having the marketing people go out and stir this up, and might not have anything to do with your school or a school that you think's doing it to you.
Well, for sure. And don't forget, agents have not just one individual, they have a stable of individuals. So, and you may have one of their clients legitimately on your team already. And as you're talking about player A, that agent may say, I have, these other players, under my umbrella as well. are you interested in any of those folks? Well, I'm not interested in them until they get into the portal. But, I don't think you have to need your Dick Tracy decoder ring to figure out what that means.
Right.
So, it's just you and I are the same generation, Joe. That's why I said that. Most of the people listening, I have no idea what I just said.
Oh, I'm a hell of a lot older than you are, Dan. You're good. Yeah, that was good with me. You were fine. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, Dan, it's crazy stuff. I love Joe and getting out in front and doing everything he can as a president of the university. But boy, I do have good news though. I see spring football is about ready to start up next week.
Yes, sir. On the 23rd, the 24th, Tuesday the 24th. 23rd is pro day, and the 24th we'll start spring practice. And Mario's excited, and I think he's really enjoyed the 6 weeks of practice that the guys post-national championship game have gotten in, 6 weeks of work. And the guys who have been here a couple of weeks earlier, the freshmen that came in January, they've all really benefited from the strength and conditioning program that we've been putting together. Irv Young's done a phenomenal job. So that's been really positive.
Yeah, no, listen, it's going to start back up, man. The machine. Have you guys ever looked? Do you guys keep track of all this exposure you guys get from the media? Like pro day is going to be big down here with potentially 3 first-round picks and maybe a couple in the second and third round. The amount of whole NFL is going to be down here to see a couple of pass rushers and offensive linemen, a quarterback, some secondary guys, the whole offensive line just about. It's going to be crazy.
Sure. We have a company that we work with called Critical Mention, and they do they source all the different areas that whether it's Mario or certain players or just the team in general, what kind of media mentions they get. So yeah, we do track that, and there has been obviously a huge rise over the last couple of years of the University of Miami being mentioned in a very positive way throughout the national media. So yes, that is something that we do keep an eye on.
Dan, congratulations and thank you, man. We didn't get anything accomplished, but I just wanted to say congratulations to you, bud. Thank you.
Well, Joe, it's always a pleasure talking to you. Have a great day.
All right, Dan Radakovich, University of Miami Athletic Director and Athletic Director of the Year. And, boy, UM off to a great start with their football and their basketball teams so far this year. Hey, something else is off to a great start every day. That's Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage. Man, I want to tell you right now, let's talk about credit card debt. Oh, my God, you're upside down. You got in a mess. You'd love to consolidate it. You're paying 19, 20% on that credit card. Oh, my gosh, you're feeling like it's just getting worse every month. It gets to the point you can't sleep at night. Behind in property taxes, HOA dues, assessments, judgments, liens, living in that condo, not so cheap after all, huh? Reverse mortgages. If you are 62 or older and you have a lot of equity in your home, boy, I'll tell you what, probably a good idea to pull that money out right now. If you paid your home off or almost paid it off, sitting there with all that equity in your home, you could take care of a lot of this debt, sleep better at night, get yourself a nice vacation with the little lady, and get out of this bad situation you're in. First-time home buyer programs with little money down. Michael Kotze is also the guy to go to. Listen, any kind of debt consolidation you need right now, just go to Google reviews on the web. Choice Mortgage Reviews are saying a lot of nice things about Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage. Been doing this a long, long time. 30 years. 30 years, man. Even you want to list your home up for sale, they do it all for you. They truly do from start to finish. Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage is ready to help you. The man has no life. He's always working 7 days a week. I want you to call or text him, 561-441-2730. You're going to get the best rates. You're going to get great service. You'll get approved in half the time of the big banks. There's a reason he's been successful for so long. MLS 166254. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. He's an equal housing lender. That's 561-441-2730 for Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage.
Kia.com, starting with the Heat, who will be in Charlotte tonight to take on the Hornets. Tip-off is at 7. The game can be heard on 104.3 FM. Over to the Panthers, who are in Vancouver for a matchup with the Canucks. The puck drops at 10. That game can be heard on 560 AM. To baseball, where the USA will take on Venezuela tonight in the championship game of the World Baseball Classic. The first pitch is at 8 from Lone Depot Park. The Marlins will continue spring training against the Mets. Their first pitch is at 1:10 from Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. And in tennis, the Miami Open continues today from Miami Gardens with qualifying matches. And, Joe, we do have those opening day tickets to give away here.
Well, hot damn right. Let's get going on them. Last time you teased them, boy, it lit up like a Christmas tree with extra lights around here, man.
All right, so we'll go caller number 5, 305-567-0560. We'll get you set up with that one, all right? Right around the corner here.
Hey, besides it's being opening day, March 27th is a Friday night, right? Am I right?
That
on
is
that?
correct. Yes, you are.
All right, so you got the Rockies in town. It's a 7:10 start. The first 25,000 fans that show up will receive a first-ever Marlins opening day bobblehead featuring Kyle Stowers, presented by ADT. And then on top of that, you got fireworks after the game. So you bring the family, enjoy yourself, man. No hurry to get home. Get your tickets at marlins.com/opening day, or keep listening for the freebies that we're going to look at that. It's I got Willie, Steph, Mattson, Steve. Nice to see you there. Gerard. Oh, Duggan. Oh, we got them all. Steve, another Robert. They're lit up. There's lines that I've never seen work before lit up, Woody. I mean, you've got it rolling there for a pair of tickets to the opener. And those bobbleheads look real nice too. If you collect bobbleheads, I know a lot of people do. So you got that, and then Clayton McCullough, Marlins manager, is going to join us about 15 minutes from now. We'll talk to him up in Jupiter as start of the season. Not only right around the corner, he's getting his players back from the World Baseball Classic. We've got the final game tonight. Everybody will be heading back to spring training for the end of spring training. Tonight, Venezuela and the United States for the championship. Should be a hell of a game, man. They've all been unbelievable. I don't know if we can ever match what happened with Dominican Republic and United States. That was just incredible. Incredible. The plays were made. It was a 2-1 game, which doesn't always turn people on, the 2-1 game. But that thing had defensive plays, guys jumping over the fence to make catches. We saw Judge make a throw from right field to third base, get a just great plays. Just Bobby Witt at shortstop made a couple of great plays and saved a run by knocking a ball. And it was great both sides. Both teams had their chances. Dominican Republic, minus those calls that they didn't like for called strike 3 on the low strike zone, they had their chances. They had a runner standing there on second after a double, trying to get his guys pumped up. They couldn't get the big hit. Anyway.
Tickets are gone, by the way. Gerardo from Hialeah got them.
That didn't take long.
We'll have more the rest of the week.
I like when my Hialeah brothers get tickets. God, they got great Cuban food. Some of those places over there, just fantastic. Anyway, we'll talk to Skip coming up here, and I'd love to know what he thinks about this World Baseball Classic. And hell, he's had guys. They had a couple guys on Canada. Had a player on Italy that they're counting on. Those are all some of their best players. So getting all those guys back and get back with the team, and he's got to make cuts, get this thing down to a 26-player roster. And so we got a little bit of everything here, and try and figure out who's going to be on the roster, coming off a really, really good season to even be around 500 with the injuries they had. And they just kept bringing guys up, and they just delivered. Some more changes have been made. They got some more young prospects that trying to make this team. So we'll have plenty to talk to Clayton McCall about, Marlins manager, in just a few minutes. We got a lot of other stuff to get to here as well. As we got tennis tournament. Hopefully we're going to get that. Don't do this to us now, man. Like even the weather gods. I know we need the rain. Okay, it's been dry. Did you see the Everglades, Woody? They are alligators trying to find some damn water right now. It's so bad.
I didn't catch that. Is it?
No, it's dry. Yeah, the Everglades are dry. But I tell you what, we get some of the storms like we did last couple of days. We'll be fine. That one we got on Sunday, that took care of a lot of business right there. That was big time stuff. Hey, I haven't had a chance, but Kyle Krabs is going to join us later in the show as well. Break down some of the signings they've had of guys that going to have to play. And he does a real nice job of breaking that down. So we're going to have that for you coming up as well. And this Miami Open, which is taking place this week and next week, with some, all the great players going to be here. I know Joker's out and injured and not going to be here, but this is going to be a really, really fun event for a couple weeks. And if you haven't been out there, the improvements on the food, to me, it's not just about the tennis. Now, I happen to enjoy the tennis, and I have my favorite tennis players on both sides, both the men and the women that I enjoy watching. I'm a big Sabalenka fan. Obviously, I love watching all the American players to see there's going to be a breakthrough at one someday. The women seem to be a lot closer to it than the men right now. And but we got some great players. Listen, this Alcaraz, he ended up losing to Medvedev last week, but he's just incredible to watch. He does things. I don't know how long he'll hold on to number one. Sinner won the tournament at Indian Wells last week, and Medvedev's coming back and looks a lot better. There's a lot of really, really good players, and just a little teaser. This second round match could be this Fonseca, 19-year-old from Brazil, who last year had a nice little run at 18, and the following he has is crazy. Thousands of people that follow him around. They're in California. They're going to be here, and he could face Alcaraz here real soon in like this week. That could happen, and that will be on Stadium Court, and that is going to be a lot of fun to watch. So a lot of cool stuff going on that should be a lot of fun on both men and women. Sabalenka obviously won a tournament again. She's the number one player in the world right now. So get out there, and hey, man, you may have all your favorites: Pagula, Coco, Madison. They're a bunch of really good players out there from all over the world, the best. And it's a big tournament, and we've got it at Hard Rock Stadium for you. And if you want to get tickets, I enjoy, like today, my goal is to go out there. Guess you're not going to be with me, but I like to go out there and walk around, grab a little bite to eat, and walk around on the outside courts.
Yeah, I'm going to go later on when the big draws.
So you can get up
there.
really close on the smaller courts on the outside.
Yes.
So you can get you get to see it. I mean, they're
like a proud
unbelievable.
father with some of these.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just they're really good. Like people go, oh, the qualifier, like what? Well, what you think it's like high school trying to play the NFL? Like these guys are, and women and men and women are really good players. A lot of them fresh out of college or been on the mini tour and trying to get enough points to get in. They got to, earn it by this qualifying that's going on right now. Anyway, I'm not saying I'm a little jacked up, but yeah, even my
You've
wife.
been excited for this thing for months.
I have. I do.
It's good though.
It's
a
a
good
nice
event.
It's a nice break. I don't know how else to say this. It's a really nice break from football.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's just
the spring football coming up too. Yeah, it's nice.
Spring football's back. We're going to have a draft coming up. We're going to have mini camps. We're going to be back and pop. And this guy, where's this number one pick? And
football's also taking a lot out of you lately. So, your team, the one that you travel with.
The last 20 years, this was by far, and I went through a 1-15. This was by far the most difficult one.
Really?
For a lot of different reasons I don't want to get into, but obviously you could figure them out by people who are gone, that it was rough. And you see something and it's not right.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, I was starting to think nobody was listening, man. And I thought it was just me. Thought it was a me problem.
You're all right.
No, we're okay now. We're okay again. All right. But yeah, the tennis is tennis is therapy, brother. I don't want to get all carried away. Tennis is like, hey man, you watch it, win or lose, it's great. You just want to see stuff that's great stuff. No blaming anybody. It's not a team sport. It's an individual sport. And the best players in the world are going to be here, and they're here already. Hey, I think I tell you what, man, hurricane season's right around the corner. Not today. Protect your home with Loctite Impact windows, doors, and roofing. You got that old leaky roof. Replace your old roof now. You can pay later. Loctite Impact offers the highest quality roofing materials with lifetime warranty plus thousands of 5-star reviews. Now, listen, man, you can save big on legendary state-of-the-art Impact windows and doors. Impact windows is low as $6 per window per month installed. Don't wait for the next storm. Chev always says, the CEO over there always says, hey, man, you can't control where next hurricane, next tropical storm is going to go. You can't. But you can protect your home with the best products, and Loctite's ready to help you. Don't wait for the storm. Visit LoctiteImpact.com. Again, LoctiteImpact.com or call 954-500-LOCK. They got a great staff ready to answer all your phones. They cover all of South Florida. Let's get it started today. Something you've been talking about. It's been maybe money's been the reason you haven't done it. Hey, Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing can help you out.
The Canes have an NCAA tournament.
very heavy approaching the Dolphin.
This report is brought to you by the Casino at Dania Beach. Don't miss the Dania Spring Poker Classic March 11th through 22nd. Stack your chips and take your seat at the Casino at Dania Beach Poker Room. Don't miss the Dania Spring Poker Classic March 11th through the 22nd with over $500,000 in total guarantees. Join the fun at the Casino at Dania Beach.
It is time to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood Highline Shop. Over 2,000 Toyotas on sale. One location, Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com. Joe.
All right, Woody, thank you so much. Always fun to head up to Jupiter and talk to Clayton McCullough, the Marlins manager. Skip, good morning, and thanks for being with us.
Of course, Joe. Good morning, man. Great to speak with you again.
Well, I'm glad to have you back. World Baseball Classic has been unbelievable. That Dominican-USA game a couple of nights ago was crazy good. You're getting some of your guys back, though. I always wonder, they played some serious, competitive, high-pressure games. How much does that help as they get set to come back to spring training?
I believe it helps. I mean, do you think for our players who were in that tournament, with Marcy having a chance for the Team Italy to go as far as they did, to play really highly competitive games in a pressure-packed environment, I feel like it bodes well. Because those are the types of games and environments that we are striving for. We want to be playing in those types of environments during the regular season, and then certainly the postseason has a very similar feel to that. So for the number of individuals we had that went and got a chance to go experience this tournament, many of them the first time, I think it just bodes well for them, and they got to really get some experience and some terrific repetitions in a pressure-packed environment. So Joe, I loved it, and we're excited. We got Sanoha still there going, so pulling for him, but also it's nice to have our group mostly back here in camp as we get to the finish line.
Well, I got to tell you, Otto Lopez, I guess you couldn't keep him out of the lineup. He couldn't wait to get back and hits a friggin' home run. Oh, that's awesome.
I think he's just an underappreciated player. And I hope that this tournament, he's one that had a chance to do some really, what he does for us, we see all the time. The relay throw and pull play, the heads up play, letting the pop up drop and getting Bobby Witt out at second base, what he brings on both sides of the ball. For us, he's such an important member of our team, and I was happy for Otto that I think more of the world got to see him play and appreciate what we get a chance to see every day with him.
So Skip, another one we didn't get to know a lot about, and then he has a breakout tournament. Speaking of Canada, Owen Casey, the outfielder, part of that trade with Cabrera, you get him, a young, good-looking player. Did you see signs of that before he had some breakout plays and at-bats with Canada?
Yeah, we certainly saw some signs of that early in camp. Even just through some of the work and the at-bats that he was taking. Tough to get a lot of it early on before those guys left. They're coming off the off season and trying to get some timing back in the games. And so, but he comes with an impressive, minor league track record of performance, and we weren't surprised by what he did in the tournament for Team Canada. And, we're just as excited now about Owen as we were when we acquired him.
All right, so I got to ask you, and I don't expect you to break any, earth-shattering news today, but you got to get this roster down. You got a lot of young guys. You guys got to make some tough. I know you already made one on Joe Mack, and by the way, what was that like for you to have to tell Joe Mack you're heading down? Yeah,
we do. Certainly, this is what this time of camp. Some of the conversations are difficult. The decisions are tough. That's a good thing. The decisions are tough because we feel like we have a lot of really high quality players, Joe, and we had a very talented camp. And the message was he he did great. He showed he was terrific defensively. Him having a chance to catch a number of the pitchers that are going to, start with us in Miami, or we certainly believe are going to impact us at some point this season. He handled himself very well. He got to spend a lot of intimate time around, myself and the rest of our coaching staff here. And there's still work to be done. I mean, there's work for Joe offensively as still a very young player going back to AAA and, refining his approach, becoming a more consistent offensive presence. We know the power. We believe it's going to come. And just, him dialing in on a few things to make that, just show up with more regularity. And the ability is all there. We know that about Joe. And it's, as quick as he's ascended to where he's at, he's still always been very young for level. It's a demanding position. So Joe's time will come. And I just try to leave him with, don't wait every day for that call to come. Just be where your feet are, continue to get better. And you're a very good player that we know is going to come up and help us at some point.
Yeah. Boy, you're right. That's a great message for him to know, like, hey, man, we're going to be watching everything you can do. Hey, so getting down to 26-player roster, how difficult is it going to be this year?
It's going to be very difficult. And we hope everyone stays healthy. Like, Joe, I hope these decisions at the end are, and they will be, incredibly difficult because we have talent and we have a healthy group as best we can be leaving camp. Unfortunately, Adam Major will miss the season, but for the most part, we're in a pretty good spot right now, which again does make these final decisions, what our position player group and our rotation and bullpen very difficult. But I think that's a good thing for us. The more difficult decisions we have just means we have more high quality players that we're trying to make a decision on for opening day. And we know we're going to need a whole lot of contributions from our roster throughout the season. And it doesn't diminish the importance of what the 26 look like opening day. So yeah, it'll be difficult, but in a lot of ways, it's a good thing for the Marlins.
It was amazing last year. Somebody get hurt. That was bad news, but you call somebody up and they go smoking hot for like 2 weeks. I mean, it was like nobody knew it, and they'd come in and so I'm thinking about all those guys that you had that didn't play a lot, didn't have a lot of major league experience, and that makes it even more difficult. How much you put in, not how they're hitting or playing right now, but the work that they did last year when they got their chances.
I think you definitely that plays a major part in these things. What's their track record been like? It's very easy either way to get swept up in a sample of whether it's pitching appearances in spring training or 40 to 50 plate appearances in spring training. Either way, man. Look at Kyle Stowers at spring training last year. Wasn't one to write home about, and he certainly had a remarkable season. And there were things that he was doing from a bat quality standpoint, and things that he had done previously that we were holding on to. So we know there's going to be surprises. That's the great thing. I mean, Ronnie Enriquez last year wasn't someone that I think we were expecting to do what he did, and Alberto Hernandez. A long list of guys, and to this year there'll be surprises too, which is the beautiful part about it. Is our player development group does a phenomenal job with those that are down in our minor league system, preparing them for what's ahead and continuing to develop them. And we are trying to do the same thing with our crew in Miami. So we feel like we have a higher floor of talent organizationally now, and our job is just to continue to try to get as much as we can out of them and let performance dictate most of this.
Clayton, I got to ask you, speaking of Kyle Stowers, I know he's coming off a little hamstring there, so he's been out for a while and hasn't had, I'm sure, as many at-bats and much playing time as he would have liked. How's he doing? Will he be ready in the next 10
Kyle
days?
Should be ready. Yes, sorry. Kyle should be ready. Yes, he did. He had the hamstring setback, and he's felt great. We wanted to ensure that, rather have given him a couple extra days, whatever it took, with where we were in the calendar, to make sure this wasn't something that lingered. And during that time, as he was getting himself built back up to get into games, he was able to take live at bats on the backfields to try to, keep his timing or get his timing where he needed to be. And, he's been in a couple games. He's going to get a chance to play in, 3 or 4 more, plus have some at bats in Miami before our season starts. So, we still, even with the setback, Joe, we feel like, Kyle will be in a good position and ready to go opening day.
How about Graham Pauley? Speaking of that, is he going to be back pretty soon here?
Graham should be, yes. He threw He's been on a throwing program. He threw across yesterday. We plan to get him into a game defensively this weekend. He's been able to take DH at bats for the last couple of weeks, as well as getting the extra at bats on the backfields. So Graham feels good. It was the same thing. Just more important that and Graham was very comfortable with how his arm was feeling and responding with the throwing program put in place. Graham's such a talented defender, Joe. I mean, he's not going to forget how to throw. It was just more about ensuring that the health was there and we could build up some volume. And we feel like that the way he's trended, that he'll be in a good place when the season starts.
So I'm an old school guy, but I don't want to make it sound like I'm a grumpy old guy. But the two challenges on the strike zone coming up, I know you've had a chance to watch it from the minor leagues. I've had it around, and probably both challenges will be used later in the part of the game, and it'll be mostly, I'm guessing, the catcher and the hitter. How do you like it, and what do you expect it's going to look like, and how much will it help the game?
I think we're also going to realize how good the umpires are. I mean, even if there's 4 or 5 pitches a night challenge, I mean, there's guys are seeing, hundreds of pitches, and some of these misses we've seen in spring training, Joe, that get challenged. There's such a small fraction like the miss. It's incredible that, especially the top and bottom of the zone where, each hitter, it changes where the edges are more fixed. So I think the players having some say during the game with, and maybe in moments that they do have an opportunity to challenge. And I think it's going to be good for the game. I think the fans are certainly going to enjoy it. There's a lot of, engagement there and excitement after, a call stands or it's overturned. So I do think it'll, have some impact, and the strategy that which, we'll use, and I'm sure, other teams have been kicking around this winter and during spring training, will be fluid and evolve as more information is gathered, and we'll have a strategy with our players that we'll go into the season with, and try to at least maximize the times at which we're going to use those challenges, and we'll figure out maybe which guys are better than others, or if our strategy needs to be amended based on just how things are going.
Clayton, I got to tell you, man, I can't wait to get this thing started. And boy, we'll be talking. Hopefully I get to talk to you again before it starts back up, but can't wait to see the guys back in Miami. Thank you so much for coming on this morning. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Joe. March 27th can't get here soon enough for us. We're excited for that home opener with Sandy on the mound.
Hey, I agree, man. I'm with you on that. I can't wait. And what an opening night it's going to be for everybody. And thank you so much, Skip. Appreciate it very, very much. But, more on that. We got a lot of stuff coming up here on the show this morning as we continue on. Kyle Krabs, host of Locked On Fins, A to Z Sports Analyst, will break down the Miami Dolphins free agent class so far. That's coming up.
The Joe Rose Show is presented